Okay, we should be back right now, I think. Oh, we're losing frame. Why is that? Oh yeah, I turned on my cell phone. That must be. Gonna turn it off again. Yeah, it was my cell phone apparently. We should be stable now. Yeah, we're getting a steady 680 kilobytes. So we can continue now. I hug Mary again, clenching even my fingers tight around her. And then I realized it. Sorry, I know you're having a touching reunion, but the girl was inside of one of the boxes. Despite how difficult it was to get in, she seems to be struggling to get out now. Finally, she breaks out of the box by tearing it open. Not the least bit bothered by it, speaks in a cold tone. The blood spattered here and there appears to be hers. It seems to have stopped now. Surely it was from the wound on her forehead. How it opened. That girl is already dead. It's something I realized already, because I couldn't feel Mary's body heat. That girl has put it into words, as if it were no big deal. I had prepared myself in my heart, but on actually being able to embrace Mary, that difference causes my chest to tighten. Big sister, I'm sorry. That's not something to apologize for, Mary. Mary looks at me with an anxious expression on her face. I rub Mary's head. Her hair is silky, a fact that doesn't change whether she's alive or dead. Tayo-chan, can I tell my big sister about it? Tayo-chan? Is that this girl's name? Yep. He told me. That's right, to Mayumi. Please drop the chant. Tayo, is it? Okay, nice to meet you. There's nothing nice about it. What a cold response. Tayo-chan, are you a friend of my big sister? Not particularly. Do you not like her then? I don't particularly dislike her. Mayumi, what's so funny? Their exchange is so funny I start snickering. Because it's so funny to see Tayo wavering at Mary's barrage of questions. So, Mary, what was it you wanted to tell me? Well, Mary glances in Tayo's direction. Tayo tilts her head silently. Wait a second. Mayumi, why are you here? Why, you ask? Didn't you take that man's advice and leave me behind? I didn't see it as you abandoning me and felt your actions were correct. But I do want you to tell me your reasoning. You heard? You heard all that? At that time I couldn't move at all, not even my lips, but I was conscious. The red Manten Aquarium, who had a dumb name. Anyway, that was the only part of your conversation I got. There's nothing to hide from you then. Somewhere inside, I feel relieved. My guilt that having left Sayo comes back, making me fully aware of its presence. But she said what I did was right. I don't think Sayo's the type who would lie about that. The decision I made at that moment was definitely not wrong. I explained those feelings between Himeno and I that, with a worry over whether they were right or not, left me back here. So stupid. You should have just left me alone. It was my decision. I can't let things be anymore. No gratitude or apology. I don't see it as having grown closer, but Sayo is accepting me just a little bit more. Unlike when I'm with Genji-san, and when I'm with Himeno, it's the first time I've truly appreciated this feeling of relief. Now it's my turn. Tayo, why are you with Mary? That story is a long one. Where should I start? First of all, how about telling me about when Sagi no Marieko tried to kill you? You heard that from that guy already. He's the criminal who killed my papa. He's already dead. Spirit out for vengeance. The criminal who killed my papa is merely a shadow, only able to exist within Manten Aquarium. When I pointed that out to her, she suddenly attacked me. She probably doesn't want to acknowledge that she's dead. He's looking for Mary. So, he was looking for Mary after all. But why? If she's already dead, why is she? Her feelings have gotten really big, like a balloon. She can only think about that one thing, so much that she's forgotten everything else. The one who answers my question is Mary. Mary, unable to stay silent any longer, gets between Sayo and I, speaks while spreading both her arms out wide. I also heard that, in other words, she has lingering attachments from when she was alive. Vengeful spirits and other ghosts usually do. I don't believe in such things, so it's just theoretical. Sayo says this while leaning against the counter. I can see she's settling in for a long conversation. Always wanted to see you, big sister. This whole time, it's what I wanted. That's why you called out to me over and over again. I wasn't feeling like myself. With nobody, I was just fuzzy. I couldn't even come see you. Fuzzy? Right, fuzzy. I think I'm missing something fundamental in what Mary's trying to say. I wonder if Sayo is even listening, but when I look her way, her eyes are closed. She's your little sister, Mayumi. So you get what she's saying, right? You say that, but you don't get it either, do you? When I give her a hard time, Sayo sullenly puffs up her cheeks, and soon after, she clicks her tongue with that, and looks away. Even if she wanted to tell me she didn't get it after all, she can't. Well then, how do you feel right now? Now? Normal? Normal? Anyway, let's set that subject aside. But you know, I remembered lots of stuff. After I met Sayo-chan, maybe it was before. Until now, all I could think was seeing you. But I did remember something important. Mary looks a little saddened. I still don't understand the reason why. Is that what you wanted to tell me earlier? Yeah. Sayo-chan, I can tell Mayumi-chan, right? She's not an enemy, right? It should be fine. She's just too soft is all. Sayo, what are you filling Mary's head with? Sayo gives me no response. I look up back at Mary and wait for her to continue. You see, Mary takes in a small breath. Oh boy. I saw a man get hit until he couldn't move. That scary man, he did that with a scary lady. Mary quietly tells me the truth. That way of telling the story is unmistakably fitting for Mary. That was probably when the director, Papa, was killed. I understood that. However, Sayo readily reiterates it. The woman was the criminal. In other words, Sagi no Marieko, right? And the man was a scary man who came after me. Who do you mean? You should already know. That's why I had to be sure earlier, Mayumi. Kenji-san would never do such a thing. Mary, you must be mistaken. Big sister, I'm not. I may be more grown up than when I saw it, but that man keeps coming after me. That's because of the course. He has to come back here at regular intervals. It lines up with what the diary said. It's probably true, but that's not all. He came here with many different ladies and then did something scary. All of them screamed. What does that mean? With a frightened look on her face, Mary shakes her head. Even though it's a scene she witnessed herself, Mary doesn't seem to understand the meaning behind it. It's that life energy he was talking about. If the number of people possessed by this place decreases, then don't you think the mere existence of the red Manten Aquarium is using that energy up? That's why I'm asking what it means. I yell suddenly. I become aware of the fact that, through all the things that have happened here, my own perception has gotten sharper. Talking to Mary and Saya is causing connections to be formed in my mind, allowing me to guess some things. I'm sure I yelled because I'm trying to deny the thoughts floating about in my own mind. However, Saya is not so gentle. Saying it likes, or something like that. Essentially, he's bringing people here and killing them. Even if he doesn't kill them, he can probably at least kill their life energy. Don't you remember that rumor about the number of missing people increasing? Kenji said something similar, but Himeno knew that rumor as well. People were saying rumors like that around me as well. If you want to spread a rumor, you gather as many idiots as possible to do it. He knew that. Just come out and say it. I've been trying to say it the whole time. Tayo heaves a sigh and continues. Spreading the rumors like bait that Manten Aquarium scatters for its prey is kind of ironic. The one spreading those rumors is that man. To prove it, I let him pick me up. It was creepy. To prove it, I let him pick me up. It was creepy. Kenji-san. I thought him hitting on girl was normal. Him spreading rumors is a completely different thing. I came here to look into some things and found someone who had escaped. It doesn't seem like she'll ever wake up. It's probably because of having her energy exhausted. Before she came to the aquarium, some men called out to her. I have no doubts it was him. If he's Sagino Marieko's accomplice, then it's not up for him to help preserve the red Manten Aquarium. Even if we refer to them as the worst of humanity, they probably don't want to disappear. Even now, they're probably still working together. Kenji-san is alive! Please, I'm not done with my story yet. Mary spreads both arms and starts bouncing up and down. Mary. Yeah, sorry, I lost my cool for a bit. Speaking of which, I haven't heard this yet either. After I saw the man fall over, I was chased by that scary lady. It wasn't anything like a game of tag. I climbed this ladder and hid inside a giant tank. In the top part of the tunnel tank, right? The lady glared at me. I was so scared, but I tried to get her to leave me alone by running away. That was when that man showed up. Kenji-san did. It was really scary. First, he got rid of the lady. Then he turned something that looked like a handle in the water, and the water started pouring in. But from there, I don't really remember anything. It all gets kinda fuzzy. For American finish, I break it. So then, that means that Kenji-san, Mary, he killed her along with Sagino Marieko. I think we can all agree he was the only one still living. No, it's a lie. It's gotta be. Hey, Mary, did you maybe mistake what you saw? Sorry, big sister, I said something awful, didn't I? Mary looks at me with large eyes. Sure, she doesn't completely understand the horrific misfortune that befell her body. That's why she has been able to maintain her pure heart. I'm a terrible big sister. Of course, Mary is the one I should believe over anyone else. I just can't believe Kenji-san would do something like that. Sorry, but I'm also a bit confused. Definitely the accomplice to the one who killed my papa, Sagi no Marieko. So, then why would he kill her? Moreover, I can't grasp the reason they would work together now. Sayo, you also saw the two of them together? That's why I'm saying this. Seeing that those two who were after Mary, he and I ended up together like this. By also, and you mean you saw them as well, Mayumi? I saw Kenji-san meet up with Sagino Marieko in the staff passageway after he came out of the souvenir shop. Che, if you saw it too, why don't you believe us? Because Kenji-san saved you, me, and Himeno as well. Ah, jeez. I don't get you. I don't get you either. Please, don't fight! It's Mary's words that stopped the heated quarrels between us. We both look at Mary. She's puffing up her cheeks and her face is red. Looking at her face, even more strength leaves my body. Being so close to her, I had forgotten that Mary is already dead. Omae wa mou kishinderu. I will fucking make that joke every time a phrase like that is said. She's aware of her own death. At this point, the futility of it all makes it hard for me to stay standing. I'm sorry, Mary. I really am. I don't really get it, but I forgive you. I don't want to ever fight with you again, big sister. I've sunk to the ground and Mary begins proudly rubbing my head. Her hand has no heat, but I can feel a slight warmth. Tayo puts some distance between us, standing little ways away. Having reached a conclusion, I think the only thing left is to see what lies on the other side. But it seems I haven't reached the truth itself just yet. I also want to know the truth. We have to find it, no matter what. Big sister, do you feel better? Tayo-chan, are you okay too? We both nod. As I stand up, Sayo and I look at one another. Speaking of which, Sayo, you dropped this. Thanks to our eyes meeting, I'm reminded of the keychain tucked into my pocket. After taking the keychain from me, Sayo looks at the back. This is the sticker photo of two people. He says a brief thanks. Looks up and I'm going to see my papa. To be more accurate, it's probably his spirit. Papa is likely related to the creation of this closed-off world. I'm sure the truth lies there. I suppose there's no need to ask the two of you at this point. Right. Tayo-chan, I wonder what your father is like. Our father? That was a slight change. Sayo is no longer alone. It may have been Mary who brought about this. No matter what truth lies ahead of us, I get the feeling that if we don't forget what it is we believe in, we'll be alright. There's a whole other route after this. Talking with Sayo, we decide to take the route to the director's office that passes through the tunnel tank, the Fish of the World booth, and the back staff passageway. This small aquarium supposedly has a magnificent director's office. Supposedly to reflect Sayo's father's preferences, expensive, foreign-made furniture is situated around the room. It seems that when the deep-sea fish booth was open, one could see through the tank and watch the deep-sea fish from the director's office. I'm a little excited that I'll get to see such a magnificent room. Wow, pretty! Kirei! Sugoi kirei na! It's pretty, but why is it so calm? Probably because they're among companions. The tank part of the tunnel tank no longer has any meaning, as if all of the air is filled with water. The fish are swimming all about, like the bizarre incident I witnessed with Kenji-san with the cutlass fish. I'm left completely confused. Yup, there. Mary gently pets a ray that passes beside her. A group of sardines pass above our heads, casting shadows that look like bullets. Mary follows them with her eyes until they pass. The flatfish that passes by my leg is a right-eye flounder? It's a large-toothed flounder. On the left is a large-toothed flounder, on the right is a right-eye flounder. Mayumi, you thought they were the same, didn't you? That's not true. The large-toothed flounder is so crisp and crunchy, it's delicious as sashimi. The right-eye flounder is more soft and flaky, so it's better boiled in soy sauce. I know the difference. Oh my god. Big sister, you're such a glutton. Even you, Mary. He's saying puff off my cheeks. At any rate, being able to actually enjoy the aquarium like this is refreshing. We are enjoying it, but the feeling is different. If nothing scary happens, this reality isn't bad. Ah! Right ahead of where I'm walking and spacing out, the nose of a large shadow brushes past me. I fall on my backside in surprise. Geez, don't get so scared. It's because you get scared that they all react. Yeah, I'm alright. I wasn't scared, just surprised. Was that a sunfish just now? Large fish with the shape of a shuriken is an ocean sunfish. My feeling on being so close its nose could brush against me was that it was honestly grotesque. With its hollow face and its sleek to the touch skin, it's like the face of an alien swimming about. It's because you're scared that they react. They react to our negative emotions. Just because these creatures are here, there's no indication that they'll attack. Right now, I think that they're enjoying it a little. I don't really get it, but because I get along with them, they might not attack us. Even back when you came with me to the souvenir stand, no matter how many doors we passed through, nothing happened. Maybe you're special, Mary. Mary, you're amazing. Hehe. Mary proudly folds her arms. On the other side of the tragic fact that the fish, like Mary, are no longer living, is the optimistic fact that they are not alone either. Manten Aquarium, when it's not experiencing phenomena, it's smaller than I expected. We probably walked for about 15 minutes. This is director's office. I am not a lips. I hate colds. Saya nods, her lips pressed together. The door is so damp, bringing about an odd atmosphere. It's something of a mismatch with the tranquil aquarium, leaving a heavy impression. I'm a little scared, big sister. We took a look around, but Papa was nowhere to be found. So he must be here. This was his favorite place. Is there any chance he's gone crazy? That he might have been taken in by his own hatred or malice? There is, but Mayumi? You went back to someone who lost it before, right? There's no reason I can't either. In other words, you're prepared for whatever may happen? Yes, I have been from the start. Taking the lead, Sayo places her hand on the door. No. Why? After entering the director's office, that's the first thing Sayo says. Just as Sayo told us, the director's office has an expensive antique furniture and one of the walls is a tank. The director's chair looks soft and comfortable to sit in. Why is he sitting there like normal? The director is sitting there calmly. Sayo-chan, I think something is different. A pale blue light is flowing out from the tank. Looking inside from the entrance, the form of the director sitting there has the transparency of a projection on a screen, wavering about. Let's have a little look. Sayo, who was trying to make her way forward, stops her shoulders shuddering. Seeing her father who had passed away right before her eyes, it's natural that she would want to get closer. I understand such a feeling well, but I also understand that we can't lose our cool leader. I stand the furthest forward of the three of us, my focus on the director's desk. It's the director, Sakuragi Isao. There's no mistake. My papa. Director. On the screen of light, one more character appears. Saginuma Rieko. But, like, video or something. Here, she appears a little younger. Without even glancing our way, she faces the comfortably seated director. Saginuma Rieko has a frantic look on her face and places her hands on the desk. The director wipes away the spot where Saginuma Rieko had placed her hands on the antique desk. She glares at the director for just a second before calming her expression. I bit my tongue again. Why did you reject my plan? The greatest number of visitors to Manten's building comes from women in their teens and 20s. There are also many couples. If we partner with other tenants or offer pair tickets as well as attach ourselves to the image of a fashionable nightlife, we can expect a set minimum number of customers. We could also partner with magazines for coverage. Other aquariums aren't being touted as date spots yet. If we follow this course, it could be extremely advantageous to all involved. It goes without saying, an aquarium isn't some flashy attraction. Our purpose through and through is to display living things. Having foolish young people point and laugh? Where is the respect for living things in that? In that case, shouldn't we convey to young people the splendor of marine life and teach them how precious it is, as well as the smallness of humanity? Then what about this application? Saying nothing to me, throwing several million yen into an addition for the stage. Children would love that. The number of visitors would temporarily increase, but does it serve any other purpose? You employ animal trainers to train them from scratch. We don't have the know-how for this. Moreover, given the scope of Manten Aquarium, how great of a show do you think we can offer? Though on a stage won't win against our competition. Let's make that clear. If people get bored soon after, all we're left with is a balance in the red. It won't end up that way if the staff as a whole works together for the end. Director, you understand nothing. What we need is a new measure that will yield fast results. As management, you at least should grasp the gravity of the issue, right? And all your plan concerns itself with is profit in the immediate future. It is not money that keeps us going. It is living things. If we forget our feelings of respect for them, Manten Aquarium has no future. If we shoot down, many of them would be killed. Money absolutely supports Manten Aquarium, us, and the living things. Why can't you see that? It seems our ideas are fundamentally mismatched. Even so, I'm not merely thinking of profits in the immediate future. Couples nowadays will likely be married in the future. If they continue to enjoy Manten Aquarium, then 10 years from now, they may bring their own children to Manten Aquarium. A result in 1 year is better than waiting 10 years for one, is it not? That's not what I'm trying to say. Rather than focusing on couples and the like, shouldn't you worry about first getting married yourself? You're already 27, right? Normally, one would be well on the way to having children at that age, wouldn't they? Ah! If you have nothing to say back, then you lack any persuasive ability. If you have time to think up nonsense plans, then you have time to think of ways that the plan I'm pushing for can generate profit. Wow, that was savage and rude. The forms waver and disappear. Nothing remains but the light leaking from the tank as I replay the conversation in my mind. My image of the director has completely changed, but he could have never said something like that in front of Sayo. Even Mary looks like she has something she wants to say. She just bites her lower lip and holds it in. Horrible. Papa, you're the worst. Sayo is the first to put her feelings into words. I guess I should have said something after all. His way of thinking was completely wrong. Still, that was no reason to kill. Big sister, it's not over yet, Mary says, breaking through my words and points towards the desk. Oh god, there's more. An image once again appears in the light. Similar to before, it's those two again. The director seems to have more gray hair this time around. Director, please take a look at this. What is this? I have finalized the proposed budget for plans to alter the jellyfish food. This is so we can change it to be more cognizant of the lighting, keeping true to the creation of a universe befitting the name Manten. Ibaraki's aquarium is saying they are making their own alterations and plans to decrease the number of jellyfish, so we could cheaply inherit those jellyfish. The architecture we've requested is popular, as the artist who designed the monument in front of Manten Station. Using connections through an acquaintance of mine, I plan to make use of him at a discount. As a prerequisite, I would like your word that if this plan succeeds, we can continue to request alterations to Manten Aquarium. I anticipate better synergy than I saw with the plan of mine you rejected 2 years ago. Although it's just fine if you don't think about it at all. Just giving your stamp of approval is also more than enough. Sagi no Marieko's tone of voice is different from the previous ones. In those 2 years since she spoke to him, something must have happened to increase her confidence. But nonsense. It is precisely because I've guided us toward appealing to children that our customer base has increased in the last 2 years. Bringing your plan back into play now would only put us in the red once more. So what? You just want to treat the living creatures we obtained like cheap objects? The money we lost on the addition to the stage was recouped with my plan to collaborate with talent agencies. Do not forget that. The one who decided to make an addition to the stage was me. It was due to my intuition that we experienced success. Do I need to repeat myself? Your plan is rejected. From here on, we focus on additions to deep sea fish food. Even if you're rejected, all of the other employees are in agreement. Under the circumstances, even if you don't approve it, my stamp would be more than enough. In order for you to save face, Director Sakuragi, I am humbly requesting your approval. How conceited. I've always thought you were too brazen, ever since you came here on an internship in graduate school. You had no real business management experience, yet you somehow find nothing but fault with Manten Aquarium, to say nothing of the fact that you decided to present it all to me in the form of a report. You have a point about my position as a graduate student at the time, but should I not tell you when it's relevant? Even if you had been an employee, the proper procedure is to address these things one by one with management. I'm at my limits with you. Listen, Manten Aquarium is my aquarium. Commit that to memory. Didn't you say something about paying respect to living creatures? You seem to be contradicting yourself. I'm not making any sort of contradiction. It's because of your impotence that you can't seem to marry. Without even reading it, the director tears up the plan in his hands and throws it away. At any rate, I will reject that plan every time you bring it to me. Do you have anything else you need to say to me? No matter what the director says to Sagi no Marieko, she boldly smiles back. Possibly because she's trying not to show the fear she feels inside, Mary grabs onto my fingers. In contrast, Sayo silently watches the replay shown in the light without looking away. That's right, director. It seems you've been taking the train to work lately. Yes, that's right. The company car is in for repairs. My, how unfortunate. There are some who speak badly of you, saying how you used funds to buy that car. But that seems to have quieted down, just as you might have hoped. You continue here to expel sarcasm. I received approval from accounting before making that purchase. There's nothing to blame me for. Indeed, we mustn't forget to get the approval of our management and accounting. And you have a child, so you have need of a car. That's enough. If you have time for such idle chatter, you have time to bring me a plan I can actually agree to. Yes. About a half a month ago, I was on my way home from work, walking down the street at night, and I was almost hit by a car. At late at night, they were likely pressing the log by speeding. Luckily, I was able to avoid them and they lightly hit a telephone pole, but it was just barely. With there being no people out so late, it could have been bad if I were involved in a hit and run. Yes. It was dark, so I couldn't see the license plate number, but I knew the model of the car. It was, yes, a foreign sports car. That's because it's a fast car. There are probably lots of idiots who drive fast late at night. I believe that it was about half a month ago when you started taking the train, wasn't it, director? Do you mean to say that I did it? Don't be absurd. I was merely seeing if you had any thoughts, director. I wouldn't dare bear such doubts in my heart. Get out. Get out now. My pleasure, Director Sakuragi. You should also be careful on the streets at night. Hee hee. The projection on the light begins to fade with sagging Umarieko's unsettling laughter, finally disappearing altogether. The remnants of the light become droplets and not drown into the ceiling. Until the last of it disappears, a silence remains over the three of us. That's unacceptable. Unable to bear it any longer, I'm the first one to open my mouth. The director probably did try to run Rieko-san over. He may have even killed her. But if hate is returned with hate, cycle will never end. Anger can beget nothing but anger, hatred can beget nothing but hatred, and malice will be returned with nothing but malice. At that rate, people can do nothing but argue and fight. Well, Mayumi, if that Himeno girl were killed, would you be able to go on without hating, for example, the one who created this Manten Aquarium, my papa? Trying to think of Araburo, I shut my mouth. But Sayo won't let me off that easily. Poison is something that exists to protect one's body. Those dark feelings people direct at one another are the same. Because people know that someone else carries that poison not as anger or hate, they basically won't come any closer than necessary, nor will they attack. Still, once one bears their fangs, there's nothing left but to fight. In order to protect oneself, they'll return poison with poison. In that case, it won't end until someone dies. Sayo-chan, that's scary. Mary says this in a serious tone. But Sayo doesn't look in her direction. She merely bites her lip slightly. I pat Mary's head and say to Sayo, there is the possibility of a light that can end the chain of hatred. Right, Mary? It's Easter. What do you mean? Nothing. I'm just saying how great you are, Mary. I don't get it at all, but I got complimented. Yay! Seeing her innocently cheered up so easily, I smile a bit. I wonder what was up with that projection. We proceed further into the director's office. There's no projector or anything of the sort. There's no explanation but that. Like the impression I got, the images were projected on the light leaking out of the tank. Who knows? You said you wanted to see this truth with me. So maybe the aquarium reacted to that desire, or something like that. No matter how ugly or terrible it is, we have reached the truth. What we have to do now is find Papa. If we want to bring an end to this world, we have to end the course. The red Manten Aquarium will disappear. That's probably what's on the other side of the truth Sayo seeks. At that time, what will happen to Mary? I am unable to give voice to the questions floating about in my heart. I'm sure this girl will easily give us those answers. What a shame. What you've arrived at is nothing more than fact. We still hold the truth in our hand. Sagi no Marieko. Sagi no Marieko stands at the entrance to the room, the door having been left open. Having seen her argument with the director, my animosity towards her has softened. Even murderers have reasons. I can't be sure, but could the reason that she didn't directly lay a hand on Mary mean that she was trying to protect her? Could be sure that could the reason that she didn't directly lay a hand on Mary mean that she was trying to protect her? I was just thinking that I wanted to have a little chat with you. My, what an honor. You jerk. Stop acting so high and mighty and tell us about this truth. No, that is here, but it isn't here. That whole projection was true. In light of my confrontations with management, the director tried to settle things by taking my life, since there was no place for him anymore. That's why I decided to kill him. Sagi no Marieko's words, the temperature in the room drops. The air becomes so tense at those few words that it's almost painful on the surface of my skin. No matter what truth she might be hiding, I'm sure that her murderous intent is pure. Mai-chan, Sayo-chan, run away! Leave this to me! Kenji-san. The voice continues from behind Sagi no Marieko. It's a frantic voice, but a powerful and dependable one. How do you know Sayo's name? Kenji-san's eyebrows twitches. That's because I heard you guys call her that. That's enough, Kenji-kun. There's been a change in strategy. Silence flows through the room. By my own discovery, the final line has been crossed. But I can't fall apart here. I have Mary by my side. You've gotten so big, Sayo-chan. My, didn't I say so earlier? You've done a nice job surviving. That's your wrinkled mouth. We know that you two are working together. Insult me all you like, but I wonder if that will be enough to absolve your hatred. Kenji-san walks to Sagi no Marieko's side and loudly cracks his neck. The three of us are facing the two of them head on. Sister, what do we do? Those people were looking for us, right? They had the same look when they killed me. It's alright. It'll all be fine. I place my hand on Mary's head. I can feel that she's shaking. She's afraid. It's not impossible that Mary would remember the moment she was killed. If she saw them, she probably remembered the fear she felt back then. Anyway, there are too many things we don't understand. Please tell us. Like when you pushed Sagi no Marieko and Kenji-san. You were trying to save us, weren't you? Kenji-san, you said. Hehe, how funny. What is... Mayumi, calm down. It's not good for you to let her rile you up. Just as Sayo says this, I glare at Sagi no Marieko. Even though she's realized she completely misjudged you. This girl continues to trust you. Well, that's not impossible. That's what I led her to believe. Didn't you say we needed to restore that one piece to the aquarium? What do you mean? Sagi no Marieko responds to Sayo's question by snickering. If he's mimicking her, Kenji-san also snickers. The pair's actions are frighteningly similar. Big sister, something's not right after all. I know, this isn't Kenji-san, I know. No, that's not what I mean. The two of them are weird, but they're the same. They're fuzzy. Mary-chan, so you realized it after all. Hearing him speak so lightly to her, Mary glares hard at him. Neither Kenji-san nor Rieko-san appears agitated by this. Listen, okay? I realize that the tone of Kenji-san's voice has... I swallow. The Red Manten Aquarium is itself a gathering of numerous wheels. You can call those wheels souls. The murder of the director and the resulting grudge serve as a core. And the base of each of those souls is made up of that director. Primarily, the fish souls, which lack the same thinking as humans, we use that directivity to maintain this malicious world. In order to gather those souls, you spread that rumor amongst stupid junior hydras, didn't you? Hehe, stupid you say, even though you're the same as they are. Claire clicks her tongue in response to Saginuma Rieko's words. Kenji-san continues unaffected. Generally, those trapped souls lack individuality. Just like an animal, the existence known as the Red Manten Aquarium has no instinct but to preserve itself. Since more than half of the souls comprising this world are fish, it only makes sense. However, it is possible for individuality to be regained in concert with the visit of a human they are linked to. You told me you ran into someone you knew long ago. If that person's link to you is strong enough, they may appear as an individual. You could also call them a ghost or a vengeful spirit. Just like the girl at your side, Mary-chan. Even as Kenji-san looks at her suggestively, Mary merely sticks out her tongue and pulls out her eyelid. The story up to now isn't that different from what Sayo and I expected. But as we're waiting, he continues the conversation. Your bond is too strong. But it's possible that the directivity that Mary's soul possesses is completely different. The two of you being brought together alone may have been enough to put Manten Aquarium in a danger of being destroyed. If we carelessly killed Mayu-chan and the two souls came together, this place would surely be liberated from the curse. Like the plankton who can't go against the ocean current, the souls pulled here in Manten Aquarium would follow the direction of the pure love the two of you share. It would defeat the half-breed that serves as this place's direction. That's why, at first, I tried to keep you two apart. After that, I would get rid of Mary. If I killed Mayu-chan a month later, we could safely continue supplementing the aquarium with life energy to continue on peacefully. Since you brought Himeno-chan with you, fate could have gone either way. That was a close call. Are you saying that's the reason you saved me from danger then? I want him to deny it. I sincerely thanked him. I had respected him. Yeah, it'd be a burden if you died so quickly. You... It feels as if everything supporting me has crumbled away. Even so, the fact that Mary and Sayo are with me becomes my strength. Somehow, I'm able to continue standing. I'm not sure if Sayo has stopped paying attention to me or not. He begins to ask Kenji-san her own question. But I heard you once tried to kill Mayumi? That's right, that was careless. There is proof that your bound created resentment. Still not completely in possession of her individuality, but in connection with Manten Aquarium, Mary-chan was trying to warn you, Mayu-chan, when you were with me. My connection with Manten Aquarium was temporarily severed. Because of that, I was ensnared by the grudge of Manten Aquarium, and Hiyoshi Genji's true nature became exaggerated. If I had just been a soul, I would have disappeared from the spot and never attacked you, Mayu-chan. So you are leaving after all. You're the main one spreading all of those urban legends amongst junior high girls. You could say that, but it's difficult to say whether or not I'm actually leaving. You talk too much, son. There's no point in telling the ones you'll kill all of this. Time is eternal, but it's best to leave out the unnecessary. Deal? Myself aside, wouldn't it be a problem if you killed these two? I told you, didn't I? Hee. Our plans have changed. Himeno Marieko says those words, the entire room undergoes a change. Faint tremor reaches the back of my legs. Gradually grows larger. The antique furniture in the director's office shakes even more violently. I've heard of poltergeist phenomena, when objects move on their own, or people are suddenly hear noises. I'm sure that's what this is. And I notice the water it's turned red like blood. The red color doesn't stop with the tank, but overflows into the rest of the room as a red light. Big sister, Sayu-chan, watch out! I know, this is... They're connected with this place. In other words, they can interfere with the phenomena that happen here. The vibrations become more violent, like a strong earthquake, leaving me unable to stay standing. He reclines to me as I grind to the shaking desk. Yeah! The books that fly off the bookshelves come straight at me. Somehow I shield myself with my hand, but a corner hits the bone of my arm, leaving a bruise. The bookshelf is overflowing, scattering everything on top of the desk. The glass picture frame has fallen onto the floor, making an impact and tearing the picture inside. The smile of the girl depicted in the photo has been split in two, right down the middle. Mayu, we have to get out of here now. But the exit is blocked. Moreover, the murderous intent of us, that pair is unmistakably real. But just as Sayo says, if we don't get out of here, we can regroup. It's just like when we were attacked by orca or frogs. This phenomena is probably also being orchestrated by those two. Under the chair, there's a hidden passage that leads to the deep sea fish food. Huh? I can't hear you. The violent shaking comes out our voice. Big sister, under the chair. Let's go together. Yeah. As soon as I take a step, I stumble. The shaking of the room has gotten so violent I can't walk very easily. Gah. Mayumi, you're cuffed up in something. Saya's voice sounds like she's in pain. Unable to stand the shaking any longer, she sinks to the ground. Unlike me, she has nothing to grab onto, so it's natural. Leaning on the desk as it continues to shake, I twist my body and move under the chair. This is... Just as Sayu said, there's a square on the floor made of a different material from the rest. In the middle of the wooden floor is an out-of-place metal area. It also has a handle I grab onto. With all my might, I pull it up. No. Hurry, do it! I almost can't hear Sayu's voice, only understanding that she's hurrying me along. I'll help too. Mary stretches her hand around my waist and pulls, but the door in the floor won't budge. Why? As far as we can tell, it isn't that it's locked. Ah, how amusing. I have to hurry. This won't end with the poltergeist phenomena alone. But as we struggle against insurmountable odds in the deep red room, Himeno Marieko merely laughs. Sorry, Mayu-chan. This is for what they call the survival instinct of a sea. Kenji-san is saying something. It's similar, as if to embody my bad premonition. What is that? Within the red light, a large black shadow wiggles about. It doesn't take much time to realize that the shadow itself is a living thing. Mr. Whale? We've stopped trying to pull on the door, looking up at the large creature. Unable to fit into the room, it crashes onto the wall. No, you are just a ghost. A container like a mere room would be irrelevant. Hi, Kenji-san. So it's making an appearance. The world's largest living creature, the blue whale. Not something I can completely control. With the malice being born from Manten Aquarium under these circumstances, it's likely being created spontaneously. It is a whale. It wasn't there originally, like the orca and frogs and jellyfish. But why? This is another bond, the memory of the greatest terror engraved onto the hearts of the fish souls. It's an overwhelming fear for living things, a form that swallows everything. We're cut off in a completely closed-off world. After this, we will sublimate everything into one ideal, a true grudge with no impurities. You will become this world's new truth. Do you understand? Either way, it means you will all be returned to nothingness. More than death, more than erasure. You will be a complete and pure eternity. I'm sure you can hardly wait. You can sense individual will in their words. If they were humans, they wouldn't adhere to something so ridiculous. It's the outer limits of survival instinct. I can't understand the full story behind their objective. It's specifically because I don't understand the true nature of it that I find it terrifying. As if embodying the fear I feel, the shadow that I can see as nothing other than a whale finally shows its form clearly. We have to run. When my thoughts finally return to the present, it's almost completely like the whales I've seen in picture reference books and images. I will help too. And Sayo takes her hands off the floor, the bookshelf aims for her and flies her way. Not a tired hit, but even that light impact with her shoulder sends Sayo's body flying into the wall. Ow! Sayo! Sayo applies pressure to her shoulder and leans her back against the tank wall. Bathed in the red light, it creates a deep shadow. When Sayo is thrown back, something falls down with a flash of light. It slides across the floor and stops at Kenji-san's feet. It's the keychain I lent to Sayo. The strange sticker photo stuck on the back is facing up. This is Papa's key. We don't have time to grab it. This way! Holding onto the desk, I reach out my hand for Sayo. The desk is shaking so hard I have no idea when it will fall. Moreover, there's no time. The shaking grows more and more violent. Yo. In an instant, the shaking stops. Huh? Shocked at the sudden turn of events, I return my gaze to Kenji-san. Yoshi-san is... Lori. Big sister, it's open! The light in the room returns to a blue color and the shadow of the large creature disappears. I listen to Mary's voice. I open my eyes wide. As if it's being projected onto him, there is the form of an unfamiliar man layered over Yoshi-san's body. It's the man shown in the sticker photo with Sayo. Kenji-san, no. That man has dropped his gaze to the keychain and is trembling. What's that? Sayo-chan too. Despite Mary calling out to her, Sayo gives no response, so I grab her arm. There's no mistake about it. This is our chance to run. This little... Sayo Marietta stomps on the keychain that has fallen to the floor. Ah! This thing. This little thing. It doesn't break on the first try. She stomps on it over and over again with her heart high heel. Cracks finally appear in it, then she smashes it to pieces. At almost the same time, the three of us go through the door in the floor. Only one step further and... By the time we flee the director's office, Kenji-san has turned his sharp eyes on us. That was, without a doubt, my papa. Even after reaching the deep sea fish booth, we can't calm down. Sayo says, wiping away the sweat that has gradually appeared. The breathing is still rough. I have a general idea of what happened just now. I think connecting that man to the aquarium is his possession by my father. The moment he saw the sticker picture on the keychain was the first time he came to his senses and seemed to recognize you, Sayo. I wonder why he hasn't recognized you this whole time. You saw, didn't you? Papa seeing his own world. It's no surprise that he saw me having grown as I have and didn't recognize me. Your family, Mary was able to recognize me after all. It sickens me to use their words, but it's thanks to your bond. Having her individuality, Mary understands the concept of time. Yoshi, Papa, is an existence bound to the will of Manten Aquarium. He no longer has any connection. But if you talk to him, really talk to him, he might understand. You said you wanted to see your father after all. It's fine. I came here to part ways with my father anyway. More than anything, I'm sure Papa has, whether directly or indirectly, taking many lives. Could you forgive him, Mayumi? You say it like that. With me being at a loss for words, Sayo could sing and continues. I'll erase the red Manten Aquarium. My resolve to do so has not wavered. Even so, your father... Stop already. Screaming voice resonates. Owner's throat is being born. I was just at the point where I wasn't thinking about it. So you are still worried about it then? No. My father would do something so terrible. Won't accept it. But Sayo cries erupt over and over again like a volcano. No matter how you look at it, it's clear. That's not a gathering of wheels. That's Papa's true self. That giant whale is a mass of malice, and I'm descended from that malice. But Sayo, you're a different person from your father. You're upset by it, you don't need to be. That's not all. Sayo turns her back to me and places a hand on the deep sea fish food tank. Oh no. The surface of the tank reflects Sayo's expression like a mirror. A droplet glistening on her cheek keeps her away, makes a heart-rending stain on the floor. Can't bring myself to stand against my papa. I still feel love for him. Evil lives within my heart. Sayo-chan? No! The light in the room. The once all blue room begins to flicker with flashes of red. It's an omen of an impending phenomenon. Light bulbs flickering on and off. The lighting alternates between blue and red. All of the light shining through the tank mixes together, becoming nothing more than a gaudy violet. Mary! My instinct tells me this is bad, and I embrace Mary. I have to get Sayo and us out of this room. That's what I think. Too late. From a spot on the floor, the spot where Sayo's tears overflow and gradually spread as highly viscous violet liquid. It's muddy like melted concrete. Sayo-chan's crying. Before we realized it, we've ended up inside of the vivid violet space. Imprisoned? This isn't malice, it's anguish. This is clearly what Sayo is feeling right now. She's truly struck between a rock and a hard place. Not the red of hatred or malice, but a violet world. The mud spreads all across the floor, and we sit ourselves on the handrail, narrowly avoiding it. Still, if we wait around like this, the whole room will eventually be covered in mud. Sayo, listen to us. I am. Don't think she can hear us. Our voices seem to be swallowed up by the mud. In contrast, Sayo's sobs echoed throughout the room. Her anguished voice seems to overflow the room itself. The mud stretching out below me is like the bottom of the ocean. The proof of that is that fish silhouettes begin to appear in the deep sea fish food. Within the violet light, the fish swim about. Arrow fish of the deep sea. From football fish to oarfish, slightly sparkling pancake octopi and transparent-headed barrelite. The fish that once inhabited this pool. Giant isopods with large carapaces swim about in the mud, while atrocious brown jellyfish and vivid flower that jellies float about like the ceiling like tufos. They all originally inhabited parts of the ocean with varying depths, but now they swim around in Sayo's ocean of anguish. The reason these creatures from varying depths are all able to inhabit the same tanks is thanks to the nanobubble technology. Each of the creatures faces the sky, their feelers outstretched, and some of them with fangs bared. There are also luminescent fish, and clearly grasp that they're threatened. feel bad for them. They're also suffering. Mary, you understand, don't you? Sayo is definitely feeling the same. Man, hurt seeing her break down. So as not to start a panic, I am trying with all my might to calm down. But when this phenomena started, I knew how things would change. We're being pulled into the deep sea. When that's done, we'll become their prey. Even if we don't, we'll be unable to breathe, or be crushed by the pressure. It's not just being in the water, but the darkness of the deep sea. The mud swept up by the waves spread all throughout the room. There's nowhere to run. Moreover, stopping here will lead to us being swallowed up by the mood. No, the threat of being swallowed up by the mood is almost completely gone. The reason why is because our bodies are already floating. I climb tight to Mary. I can feel her almost non-existent body heat. We're in the ocean. Our worlds have snatched away in midair. We search for Sayo amidst the confusion, but as even the light itself is going dim, we cannot find her. It really is becoming the deep sea. Her mouth closed. Mary climbs to me. They said Mary has individuality, that she's being pulled in along with me, but she shouldn't be an existence that can be pulled in the first place. Not good. There's nothing we can do. If I were alone, I could probably escape, but there's no point in that. I will escape from this red Manten Aquarium with Mary and Sayo. Even so, the fish swimming about push my body aside, causing me to slowly hit the wall. This is like the weightlessness I've seen depicted on television and movies. When I hit the wall once, I lose any sort of momentum, but my own body slowly begins floating towards the opposite wall. I'm lucky that any velocity I had is lost to the water resistance, but at the same time, it's getting harder to breathe. I have to do something to change my direction so I can protect Mary. After hitting my back against the ceiling, I should be heading downward. As if it had been waiting on me, a feeler appears before my eyes. The clump-like creature that owns the feeler is stuck to the corner of the wall. The dahlia anemone, a deep-sea anemone that gets its name from the fact that it looks like the dahlia flower. I've heard it has monumentally powerful venom for a sea creature. On just the strength of its venom alone, it's a ferocious creature whose sting could cause instant death. Not good. At this rate, I'll be preyed upon by that massive feeler. But with my pace so slow, the sea anemone draws closer. It's unavoidable. I'm unable to gain control of my body, and avoiding a direct hit seems unlikely. Then, I have no choice but to gamble. The sea anemone's mouth should be located at its center. It shouldn't be able to pierce the sole of my shoe. I have no choice but to use it as something of a stool to escape in the other direction. I frantically muster my strength and stretch my leg out toward the center of its body. It feels as if I had jumped into a bucket of pudding, but in spite of that, I continue to extend my foot with all my might. My foot has sunk in and I can't get it out. Along with it, my body is being swallowed by the animal. What I thought what it was its body is only feelers. Somehow, I have to do something. Despair piled on despair. A large shadow descends from overhead. The shadow opens a mouth so grandiose, it seems as if it could swallow the room whole. It's a whale. Although this one isn't bigger than the one that appeared in the director's office, the difference between them is no more than the difference between the woods and the forest. Trying to devour me? No, not just me individually. Surely this space itself. Or perhaps it could be trying to achieve the same objective as the director and the others. At this rate, Mary herself will be swallowed up. Even though this place is already underwater, if I push her away, she could be saved. Mary looks at me with an anxious expression. I push Mary away and run. If at least Mary can get away. That one thought. I push Mary away. Big sister! Even against the water resistance, Mary is swept further and further away. I hate colds. At the very least, she is able to get out of range of the whale's mouth. My relief is almost simultaneous. Ah. What is that breed called? A lancefish, isn't it? A fish with a long, thin body and very sharp teeth. It has a ferocious desire for every type of prey in the deep sea. That fish is approaching Mary's neck, and with the bit of distance between them, can still clearly see that is the situation. The lancefish closes in on Mary and slams into her, biting at her neck. When its fangs sink in, red particles pour out instead of blood. Lowered in the particles that poured out, it takes another bite further in. Just like that, her neck is swallowed up. Her body is severed from above the neck, the deep red particles scattering about as her head, which has now become all of her, drifts throughout the deep sea. I lock eyes with the head floating before me, and look away from her expressionless eyes. It's the end of the one I tried to protect, the extinguishment of her very existence. Death piled on death, but before I know it, the once violet bloom is dyed red. The world itself seems to be trying to change, but from my head to my toes, I'm already swallowed up by the whale. Unable to see fade through the end, I am washed away by the torrent of a violent death. Final stage of destiny. But to end. Pull very close and protect her. Trying to protect Mary from the mouth that is after her, I reflexively hold her closer. And if it means being her shield, I will protect her. It's not as if I can ever let her go. We finally got to see each other again. Finally, I can protect her. Just like that, I'm swallowed by the darkness. When I come to, I'm standing where the waves are breaking. This is... I don't know. I came to, I was here. It's quiet, but a gentle wind blows. Underneath the starry sky, we're in a fantastical world. You saw it, didn't you? That violet was my true nature. Just like Papa. The form of a darkness that seems as if it will swallow everything. Right. I was swallowed up by that whale. With Mary. Where's he? He's fine. I smiles. It's the first time I've seen her do it. That isn't the only poison I possess. Even though I should have told you, Mayumi. I couldn't. Huh? I really haven't grasped what was going on from the start. Am I dead? Is this the Sansu River? But it's not a river. Ignoring me in my confusion, Saya continues. I met Mary 5 years ago at Manten Aquarium when she was alone. We were close in age. I have a feeling that's why she quickly opened up to me. I was so proud. I wanted to show her the deep sea fish food. Even though it was already closed down, there were creatures left as part of Papa's collection. But in the end, it was locked and we couldn't get in. Thanks for telling her about it. I received her key. I wondered if it was okay even though we couldn't see the booth. But I was happy. But ironically, I was able to ascertain that reason today. On that day, Mary hid somewhere after the aquarium closed. She waited until a time when all of the staff could have gone home, because I was so proud of it. She probably wanted to see the deep sea fish booth. Moreover, that night, the door to the deep sea fish booth was open. You already know, at that time, my papa was killed by the hands of those two. From there, you went as Mary said. I could never tell you my own sin. I'm the worst. Really awful. I clearly understand that I inherited my boastful nature from my father. My ego, my poison, killed Mary. I should die, just like Papa did. Mayu, you and Mary should erase this red Manten Aquarium. I'm counting on you. No. As usual, Sayu says this flatly. I can feel a sense of unease in Sayu's story. Somewhere there's a warped sense of distance. Don't say it like that. Tell me how you really feel. I just told you. Then I'll say it, Sayu. I wanted to be your friend, so I kept quiet. Huh? You're mad, right? When you told Mary the truth, did she get mad? Did she resent you? Mary was swept up into a tragic fate, yet she still said she wanted to see me. She said she was happy she did get to see me. The feelings are still pure and clean. That she died because of you, Mary doesn't think anything of the sort. That's why I don't blame you either. I don't think you should die. And on that note, Mary is thinking that she wants to save you, Sayu. I'm her big sister, so I know. Moreover, please don't talk about yourself dying anymore. Himeno entrusted this to me. I made the decision to abandon you once, which is why I won't falter anymore. The starry sky twinkles, leaving us in faint light. That's right, Mary, you're here, right? Yep. When I look over my child, there's a small silhouette. And you're glowing. Mary is tinged with a transparent blue light. Her hair color is strange, almost sublime. Isn't it great? I don't know if I'd say great or cool. Right, eh? Mary's whole face is in a smile, and she spins around once with almost the same ease that her skirt flutters. The light enveloping Mary spreads throughout the whole room. The room illuminated in blue light gradually returns to its original form as the deep sea fish food. No, it's not the same. There's not one trace of the aggression that had swelled so high in the deep sea creatures up to a short time ago. They swim about within the light. They resemble the fish who swam about without regard to the containment of the tunnel tank, but they are infinitely more free. It's the exact opposite of negative feelings such as hate or malice. Pancake, octopi, football fish, oarfish, brown jellies, and flower hat jellyfish, barreleye, and Theotis imperator. There's a dahlia anemone, as well as an inch or hagfish. Saya is following the fish with her eyes. Those eyes bear the purity that lives in Mary. Along the same lines, I am also enjoying being surrounded by so many different creatures like this. They can be forgiven for their previous attacks. The creatures begin to gradually swim around Mary. Mary, what did you do? I became one with the fish. I prayed and made a wish. That I wanna protect my nature. Just like the director and the others. No, it's different. You don't have that sinister feeling. The only ones who do are those who make corrupt wishes. With this, we may be able to hold off that wave. On the other hand, we may also be able to destroy the red Manten Aquarium. Malice, hatred, anger. The imprisoned souls have been freed from these things. Look, and you will understand. It's different from one unified form, following one giant will. All of them being touched by Mary's sight, their liberated souls are each cooperating. You could say it's numerous individuals responding as one community. We've received hope from an unexpected source. Mary, you're really amazing. I become happy and embrace Mary, but it doesn't work the way it did before. Then if I pitch forward, Mary's body gives no tactile resistance and I fall to the floor. I reach out my hand for Mary's to try and stand up, but our fingers cannot touch. My eyes surely widen. Mary gazes at me with an intense look. Big sister, I understand as well. I exhale without thinking. Her serious expression is one I've never seen before. I realize she's grown up within eternity itself. If you take care of the bad people, big sister, I'll disappear too. Because this aquarium itself will cease to exist. Yeah. If everyone gets eaten up by the big whale, it might not disappear, but I don't want to stay in such a scary place forever. Sagino Marieko and her cohort called a whale. That giant malevolent aggregation is the means of closing off this world. I, personally, would not want to spend an eternity in such a place. More importantly than anything else, I refuse to let Mary be trapped. My precious little sister. She can't be saved if she can go to heaven. I won't give up. Leave it to me and you'll all go back to the real world where you can rest easy, big sister. What are you saying, Mary? We'll stand up to them. Together. I put my hand out in front of Mary. Huh? But big sister, you guys can't do anything, can you? We can be with you. Even if it's just for a little longer. With the back of my hand facing up, I stretch my arm out toward Mary, and finally it seems she realizes what I'm trying to do. She also extends her hands, laying it with, naturally, no feeling to it over mine. Even with her hand giving off no body heat, I'm sure I can feel a warmth to it. Are you trying to lift me up? You want tea, Sayu-chan? If you say so as well, Mary. But I'm fine. I haven't atoned just yet. If I don't at least say what I want to, I can't go home. Seems so like you, Sayo. Not bad, is it? Saying this, Sayo places her palm on top of Mary's hand. Oddly enough, it's as if I can feel her skin. This sensation is what we call individuality, and what they said is wrong. It's precisely because each individual can come together that we are strong, incomparable to just existing on survival instinct alone. Having had rather malice as one's driving force, one can't consume everything. Humans weren't born just to survive. We'll definitely do it. I'll protect the two of you, so you definitely need to make it home. Let's not have any regrets anymore. Mary, if you're protecting me, then I will support you. And definitely return to Himeno's side. I take a small breath and look up at the sea. Let's head for the other side of the truth. Here is alright as well. Taking the front entrance out of the deep sea fish booth, we've arrived at the tunnel tank. Mary is praying at the center of the room, addressing the fish and living creatures. Creatures do not respond verbally, but blue light emitting from Mary envelops them. And just like at the deep sea fish booth, they begin to swim about freely. I wonder why the fish won't disappear. Since they're souls, they should also be able to cross over, because they are all in Mary's companions. They've been under the influence of a heart of fear up to now. Having been moved by Mary's pure heart, it seems like they want to help her. Vicious emotions, huh? Think you could hand in a paper on that? I love this girl. Should I write that Mary is glowing or something? If I write such a paper, they won't let me into high school. Big sister, you'll be a high school student soon. How cool! How cool! Mary is emphasizing her point by jumping up and down. Sugoi! Sugoi! The ultramarine light that seems to be not of this world is making an imprint out of Mary. Mary says this, I can't really seem to answer her. Sister, are you in the same class as Sayo-chan? No, we go to different schools. I go to Mitsuba Junior High, close to home. What about you, Sayo? A girls' school in the city. It includes elementary, junior, and high school. It's near Manten. Well, since the high school's begun recruiting, why not try for it? So the score you need is high. Sayo-chan, you want to be in the same class as my big sister? That isn't necessary. It's not what I mean. Stop picking on me. Sayo's face becomes red and she shouts at Mary. Mary has a mischievous smile on her face. She seems to be attached to Sayo. I'm not used to seeing the power dynamics between these two play out so clearly, but it's quite funny. Anyway, let's get moving. We need to go around the aquarium to all the areas and make all the creatures Mary's allies, right? Fishes say they'll help us and spread my light, but we can leave it to them. We should go look for that man and the lady. Allies, eh? Here, they're probably our most reliable option. But you know, if we don't hurry and find the men, no matter how I help them, they'll be taken over by the scary feelings again. Overridden by the grudge, you mean? If so, we should return to the director's office. Yeah, that's right. I'll go in the front, because the others are following me for now. Big sister, you too. Think about what you want to say to the man and the lady. Mary says, pointing her fingers toward the way we came. When Mary spins to the side, the dust in the air reflects the glittering light. It's as if she's clad in blue specks of light. Mary's words weigh heavily on my chest. She has also probably realized it. This is the end. The man and the lady, and all of the imprisoned fish house, even the big whale. I'll bring them all along, to the other side of that fuzzy world. I want to stay a human. This is what Mary's heart is screaming out. But I'm not sad. If I keep waiting the whole time, I'm sure I'll see you. At that time, I'll be an old lady. Oh, will you recognize me? Big sister as an old lady. Hehe, how funny. If their ambition come to pass, Mary will never be able to go to heaven, forever trapped within the cage of being a grudge. Sounds like a ridiculous story. Sayo, if you still have doubts, maybe you shouldn't push yourself. Sayo clicks her tongue and continues. I don't want to accept it. I still have doubts. I also feel that I don't want Papa to disappear. But to be imprisoned by a shapeless grudge, unable to be rescued, I pity him. He is already dead, so at least let him be relieved by Mary's kindness. My true resolve is that no matter how terrible he was, I still accept him as his daughter. Not wrong, is it, going about it that way? Sayo smiles with the most relaxed expression I've ever seen her use. It's not the strained resolve she had when we met. The person who recklessly said she would throw away her life if it meant clearing up the truth is a different person. Like the time that Mary said she wanted to protect us. This is a pure wish. Mayumi, you should also probably be sure of your feelings. Even if this Yoshi guy is the real culprit who killed Mary, there's no need for him to die. If he can be saved, you should save him. If he's alive, he should have to atone for his sins. Sayo, I don't hate him or anything. He was scary, but I've already forgotten about him. My only wish is to protect you too. Fighting isn't all there is. You two taught me that. That's why, no matter what conclusion you reach, Mayumi, I decided not to deny it. I still have things I wanna know. Sayo turns to me with a serious look. I look Sayo directly in the eyes and continue. If I think about it, we still haven't heard the truth. We know why Sagino Marieko planned to kill the director, but then why is Kenji-san, her accomplice? And what caused him to go mad? Since she saw the scene of the murder, they probably killed Mary to shut her up. Sagino Marieko was probably killed as well, being afraid to give herself up and hesitant to kill Mary. It's nothing more than a hunch, but I have the feeling it's right. Back when Kenji-san attacked me, he tried to trick me by pretending to attack Sagino Marieko instead. His threatening attitude wasn't normal. He Even though I can't think of it as something a human would do, he did it. One more thing, Sagi no Marieko. Sayo looks at me with a mysterious look. Do you have some connection with her, Mayumi? Why did she keep her Mary around at that time? After a moment of silence passes, I clap both of my hands together. Without knowing the truth, I can't reach a conclusion. So we should get going. I'm sure the night of the full moon will be over soon. For Mary and for everyone in the aquarium, we cannot fail, no matter what. Right! Mary's cheerful reply stands in front of us and begins walking, just as she had said. I start to follow behind her, the form clothed in light. Sayo pulls me back by the hem of my shirt. It's unexpected and a little surprising. Listen to me for a moment. Huh? What is it? Once we return to the real world, I probably will be too embarrassed to say this, so I'll say it now. Before I can respond, Sayo continues. Her cheeks have been tinged a slightly red color. Our conversation earlier about high school, since it's still about 6 months away, we have some time. Just give it some serious consideration. You mean about going to the same high school? Hey, don't just say that and walk ahead. I follow behind the two of them at a jog. My time with Mary has been fun, but it's surely against the providence of this world. The amount of absurd and frightening things we have encountered is probably keeping the balance. Soon, this time of terror will end, and so will my time with Mary. I want to keep being with her forever, but that wish won't be granted. If it won't be granted, at least let me engrave these feelings onto my heart. I will protect Mary, along with my steadfast bow. Big sister, you're too slow. That's not true, I'm with you. We exit the tunnel tank and head on from the Fish of the World booth. It's dark. On opening the door to the director's office, the first thing that flies out at us is darkness. It's pitch black, dark enough to swallow up even the blue light flowing out of Mary. Big sister, be careful! Right. It's not just that it is dark, but there's some sort of ominousness to it. Something is actively swallowing the light. The light flowing in from the door should illuminate the whole room, but it's safe to say that it isn't happening at all. I have no idea what has happened to the room. We should have been in complete disarray from the poltergeist phenomenon. They're not here? Nope. They are. I can feel them. What a useless thing you've done. That voice. Sagi no Marieko. I knew it. Sagi no Marieko's voice came almost in sync with the answer to Sayo's question. But from where? Even as I look around, I don't see them anywhere. Kenji-kun and I, I'm sure you all haven't the capacity to understand. Even if we can see her, we can clearly hear her voice. Sounds as if it's generally coming from the director's office, but I have no idea where she is. I'll tell you, the thing I realized when we met here that I wanted you to know, because he loved you. Don't say nonsensical things. Please, show yourself. You may not have realized it yourself, and you might have disappeared without knowing it. But within this aquarium, the yearning you felt when you were saved by him, I won't let you say that wasn't from a heart filled with love. Mayumi, don't engage her. I know, but we let her go at this point. I get the feeling we won't learn about Sagi no Marieko and Kenji-san. Not just that, I don't think we can completely ignore Sagi no Marieko. To speak of our relationship, perhaps I should start with Kenji-kun. Yoshi Kenji. He's a criminal who killed his mother when he was little. Without realizing it, I forgot him to breath. This rate, even Mary and Sayo can't help but be interested in Sagi no Marieko's boy. Killed her? You mean he murdered her? I realized that my voice has completely changed. He had a sister 4 years younger than he. His innocent little sister accidentally swallowed a toy. He tried to make her cough it up by but it became hard for her to breathe. She was likely writhing in pain. At that point, Kenji-kun didn't save her. For someone with normal feelings, that would be unthinkable. Kenji-kun watched his sister struggle against death and was amused. She died, like that. Discovering the scene of the crime, his mother criticized Kenji-kun. Of course she would, since if he had helped his sister sooner, she wouldn't have died. Lacking that understanding, Kenji-kun wrung his mother's hand. As he did so, he saw his mother writhe in agony like his sister had, just as he expected. Then she was killed by her son's hand, and he enjoyed himself doing it. Watching his sister die, actually killing his mother. No, not scary, big sister. As if in reaction to Mary's frightened voice, blue light flickers, but rather than illuminating us, it's swallowed up by the darkness. Take hold of Mary's tiny hand and squeeze it. Even though I can't hold her hand, I get the sense that I can feel her shaking. How old are you right now? I'm 14 right now. Having been asked so suddenly, I answered on instinct. The story is from when Kenji-kun was around 8 or so, but you all probably weren't born yet. That has nothing to do with this. Just tell us everything from the beginning. Why? Don't you want to hear it? There should be no need for you to be so cold, right? Don't act so high and mighty. Is that the attitude you take when you want something? That part of you is very much like your father, isn't it? At her words, Sayo silently casts her eyes downward. That's fine. But I'm the one who started telling the story, so I'll let you hear it through to the end. Her voice resonating through the darkness finally continued. He was remanded onto an institution where he received behavior modification. It is no exaggeration to say that these inhumane treatments made Kenji-kun who he is now. Having become able to lead a respectable life after healing off his mental deformities, he began attending a high school near Manten. After some time, he began a part-time job at the souvenir shop here at Manten Aquarium. That past is something that follows the person who created it. His peaceful days were unable to continue as rumors of Himeno's criminal Hiroshi Kenji began to spread, and he became the target of unavoidable bullying. To be sure, he was on the other side of fear now. In crimes committed by minors, the name is not supposed to have been released. How did anyone find out? Reality doesn't work like it does in a textbook. Getting back to the topic at hand, you see, I covered for him. At the very least, at that time, Kenji-kun was serious. An employee overflowing with enthusiasm. He treated this part-time job as a true job. He was more reliable than the kids who saw this as a way to prolong their fun or meet people. Even so, in the end, Kenji-kun's isolation didn't change. I tried to quote the distance between us. Having graduated from graduate school and going straight to work, I probably found some warmth within him. That's unexpected, the thing to also require warmth. That narrow point of view was draining to me. Just like the fact that I was labeled a workaholic. Hee much like director Sakuragi. Voice, mixed with sarcasm, lowers in tone, sounding as if she's increased its viscosity. I gave him a mother figure, and he gave me a sense of purpose. My friction with the director grew. Before I knew it, I was being supported by him. In the end, that resulted in murder. Oh, you're so impatient. Well then, since it seems you don't care to hear about our softer days, I'll leave that part out. A woman's jealousy is equal to her instinct. I ignore the fact that she says all this with not a hint of embarrassment. In reality, it's because I really don't know how to respond to what Sagino Marieko is saying. He was different than I. I was unable to sense that his mental deformities were growing larger. However, the fact that I had no doubts regarding his proposition to kill someone shows how worn down my own mind was. Hey, that's the second he once again set eyes on a person's death. It was like Pandora's box had opened. Without allowing Saya to continue, Sagino Maria says her next thoughts without any room for pause. The genesis of the plan for the director's murder was Tengi-san. Oh, don't make that face. I cannot have you misunderstanding me. At that time my malevolence and murderous intent were certain, and the one who had slaughtered Sakuragi Isago was me. To be sure, even if Kenji-kun hadn't tempted me, I would have reached the same conclusion in the near future anyway. His deformities grew further and he viewed death with even more excitement. Then you're saying the reason Mary was killed was just for his enjoyment? No way. That's inhuman. Big sister, calm down. She's surely trying to make you angry and upset. She's intending to stir you up so that your heart may be consumed by darkness. Everything she's saying is in the past. Rest assured, you aren't the only one upset. But, speaking in a loud voice, both of their faces coming to view. I have to calm down. I'm the one who wanted to know the truth. Sagino Marieko's loud laughter reverberates. It grates on my nerves and I narrow my eyes. I wouldn't do something so underhanded. Moreover, just now you said that Kenji-kun was inhuman, didn't you? You mustn't misunderstand. It's exactly because he's human that he feels pleasure at death. I can't empathize, but I suppose I can understand. Specifically because he's a human. He can feel happiness, anger, sadness, and enjoyment. From the instant the director died, this place was born. Since that child and I died there at Manten Aquarium, we were likely treated as missing persons. That's why Kenji-kun's sins didn't come to light. It's impressive how he continued to peacefully live on and melt into society, while carrying the swirling desires of his heart. Of course, that's Kenji-kun used this world of malice, killing the girls he brought here. If he killed them here, no proof remained. In the end, Kenji-kun's heart called out to those who were of this place's grudge and melded together with them. What do you mean? Just suspect having a body, Kenji-kun has been entrusted with the role of bringing fresh leaves here. His soul is already assimilated into the Red Manten Aquarium. The Hiyoshi Kenji you met originally is merely a leftover will. Half dead, half living. And, in other words, Kenji-san is already... Wait, the lady said assimilated just now. If that child's power can release souls, then Kenji-kun's soul is the same, since he has a flesh body, and wouldn't he return to his original body? It's so irregular that there's no precedent for it, but theoretically there should be no mistake about it. No matter how unpleasant it may be, I wasn't lying about wanting to hear the truth. But if I had the chance to talk to him, I wanted to hear the truth from his mouth. I don't know how much of Sagino Marieko's story is true. And this sounds past this so over the top, there's no way I can empathize. I can think of it as nothing more than a tale. However, if I believed him once, then I want to properly understand the situation. At least, to get a proper farewell. Why would you do something that put you at disadvantage? It is a woman's obstinance. I wonder if you can grasp at least that much? Don't toy with me. You shout at Sagino Marieko, who decides to mess with us further in this situation. My voice doesn't have an echo, as if it swallowed by the darkness. Please let me see you. You're alone now, aren't you? If you were with Kenji-san, the director, he would try to swallow us up. I wonder, is that really the case? Hee hee. Her laughter gradually becomes louder. Her ominous voice completely fills the room. How annoying. Probably wasn't a reaction to Saya's words, but the voice suddenly stops. At the same time that the voice disappears, a light comes on in the director's office. The blue light flowing from the tank lights up the room. Holy. In the center of the director's office, lying on his side on the desk, is Hiyoshi Kenji's corpse. Kenji-san. As if a stake has been thrust to his large chest, there's a red stain where his heart should be. The antique furniture is wet with blood, Kenji-san's body not making the slightest movement. Even without checking his pulse or breathing, instinct tells me that this is a dead body. Being cautious, we do not go near him. Sagi no Marieko is slightly hiding somewhere. What exactly is going on here? Three of us crowd together, each looking in a different direction. Even as I ask that in a loud voice, I receive no response. He's dead. What is this? Where is Sagi no Marieko? He's here, big sister, within that light. Mary is pointing to the blue light illuminating Hiyoshi Kenji's corpse. Is comprehension still not coming to you? This man. I killed him. From within the light, only the voice reverberates. Before long, the light creates an outline and the transparent form of Sagi no Marieko faintly appears. Once she is visible, I notice that she seems to have taken on the appearance of the past version of herself. Her chignon-style hair has come undone, now somewhat long as it was in the video from 2 years ago. Killed him, but wasn't he your ally? Didn't you love him? That's right, that's why. Sagi no Marieko stretches her spine so she stands tall like a monk, holding her arms and sliding her right hand along her cheek. Thanks to her thick makeup, she looks older, so I get the sense that with no makeup, she'd be quite a young-looking beauty. Things have settled down enough that I can calmly observe her, although it's not my trembling heart, but rather the air surrounding the director's office that has, contrary to the circumstances, it is a gentle atmosphere. I didn't consider him alive. He was a part of me needed to achieve one objective, equal to one seedling of the grudge. I told you, didn't I, that it's a woman's substance. Clearly, as a human, as a woman, I decided he had to die. Are you saying that you betrayed the aquarium? And Papa? Hee. From the perspective of humans, it would seem that way. At any rate, since if I am a higher order being, I wouldn't be able to revert to a merely logical one. This is your fault, Mary-chan. Mary? When she hears her name called, Mary covers her face. She seems to be turning into something we cannot comprehend. I'm sure that, if I understand Sagi no Marieko's story correctly, that's what we should be led to believe. That's due to you releasing the souls. I am also being affected by that. I remembered that I loved the aquarium, studied it, put in effort, all of the memories leading me to this point. Just before I was going to kill you for witnessing the director's murder, I also remembered that I hesitated. I couldn't run from who I was. That's why you didn't kill Mary, isn't it? You couldn't kill a girl who loved the aquarium. You really are a kind person, aren't you? Ha ha ha. What a foolish thing. Kindness, beauty, hatred, anger. They're all pieces of the same whole. Nothing more than pieces of the human created ego. Probably a strange conversation for one who has already passed, but I chose death for myself. Even if I can't go to some place like heaven, I wanted to die as myself, as Sagi no Marieko. Why did you kill him? What happened to Papa? To make a distinction, that's why I brought Kenji-kun along. In the end, love was just not enough. That's why we both saw understanding. The director, Sakuragi Isao, had already detached from Kenji-kun's body. If he wasn't going back to the real world, then he didn't need it. Thanks to that girl's power, the aquarium has already begun to crumble. Even if it's by himself, he likely intends to be sublimated into this place's new reality. That man is an individual after all. So guided by the assembled will of the aquarium, no one can run from the poison he carries, his desire to exceed the limits of humanity. Humans cannot exceed their jurisdiction. No, you in particular may be the exception. Sagino Marieko looks at Mary as she says this. I realize that gradually, Sagino Marieko's form is becoming pale. The light flowing from the tank turns and blends with the blue light emitting from Mary's body, mixing in the center of the room to create a violet color. Each is bound by the limits of the human heart, and it seems there is no way to combine them. What's stopping this is the looks, flesh, and heart that make an individual. I will not give my soul to you. Do not expect me to be your salvation. You can all fall into the very pits of despair for all I care. If we do ever meet in confrontation, you can choke on your own poison. Cursing us, those are her last words. Sagino Marieko caresses Kenji-san's body and gives a loud, weak laugh. We are not shocked by this. Sagino Marieko's body, already transparent, gradually breaks up into light blue colored particles, and from her toes to her head, disappears within 3 seconds. You're going to disappear, at least go in peace. Looking at the disappearing Sagino Marieko, I place my hands together in front of my chest and offer my prayers. Mayumi? Sorry, Sayo. She's the one who killed your father, but I feel just a little bit sorry for her. She seemed so sad and lonely. You don't need to pay me any mind. I told you that I would accept any conclusion you reached, Mayumi. This is one of those conclusions. It's just that, doesn't having such a personality bring you trouble? Alright, I'm not alone. I realized something. I wasn't able to talk to Kenji-san directly about the deaths he caused himself, or how he finally was able to express his love in the death he caused, or about how he could personally cause death after death with one woman. Even in the moment Sagino Marieko disappeared, I wasn't able to get the one thing I needed from her either. Either way, as if it's sneering at me, that loud laugh echoes throughout the room. Let's go, Mary. Is that man okay? Yeah, I can do anything for him. Borrowing her words, the reason is because of my own obstinance. Taking Mary's hand, which I am unable to feel, will leave the director's office. What is this? The aquarium is being worn away. As soon as we leave the director's office, we are shocked at the scene before our eyes. Spots here and there on the walls and floors are being dyed in black. It looks as though it has been eaten away by insects. The spots with holes don't allow any light to pass through, causing the darkness to spread. Little particles of blue light are floating up from the outlines. We return to the Fish of the World booth through the staff passageway. The path on the way there is in a similar worm-eaten state. On the other hand, the aquarium itself seems to be becoming light. If Sagino Marieko's disappearance can be considered her crossing over, then the scene suggests that this place itself is also crossing over. One by one, the particles themselves seem to be the proof of the light that was here. The humans and fish. There's no mistaking that they are becoming the light. You don't need to worry, big sister. Since I freed everyone, this place is coming to an end. Using the life energy, strength from the souls used to maintain itself. Mary, about how long do you think it's left? I don't know. Probably less than an hour. An hour. In words, that's how much time I have left with Mary. What happens if we're too late? We become fussy like the rest of us. You guys aren't supposed to get like that yet. I know that. All we've done up to this point would be for nothing. We have an hour left. I want to say something to my papa. Mary, do you know where papa is? Yeah. Mary points in the direction of the exit. That man is towards the entrance. I'm sure he's waiting there intentionally. The director is probably waiting for you, Sayo. So it works out for us. Sorry, but will you come with me? Of course. Our voices come out in unison and we begin walking. I was waiting for you. Director. Papa! Naturally, it's not Hiyoshi Kenji that's there. This time it's the director. Body of Sakuragi Isao himself, standing at the Tokyo Bay booth near the entrance. Body isn't transparent like Sayano Marieko's was just before she disappeared. Thinking back on it, since he had a proper existence here, he would probably be more notable if he were transparent. Cases like Mary's should be the exception. However, his objective is supposedly to assimilate with the aquarium. When he does, I'm sure he will cast off the appearance of his spirit. Tayo takes a step ahead of us and begins speaking to him. Finally, I can see my real papa. The Tokyo Bay booth is no exception, as it is in the process of having holes open here and there as it turns blue light. Even as I look around, I don't see the giant whale that appeared in the director's office anywhere. That was created by the souls of the grudge, and it may no longer be able to come together. The higher order beings swallowed up by the whale, they were said to be turned into mere grudges, but if the whale can no longer take its form, it may still try to do something. This whole time I've been chasing the truth, but no matter how much I pursued it, I couldn't seem to meet up with you, Papa. I finally found you, but I'm sure this is the last time, so I want to tell you how I feel. I just watched. I needed to reach my own conclusion, so I think Saya needs to do the same. At this moment, Saya is trying to make a distinction. I cannot finish her. Saya, won't you come with me? Huh? Papa, what? Before Sayo can finish speaking, the director takes over the conversation. We are humans in the end. Nothing remains after we die. No matter how intensely we display our emotions, in the end they are meaningless to this world. Once we cease being individuals and give ourselves to the collective of displaced grudge, we can become something new. We would remain as one part of this world's reality. It is the purest form of significance, and in it, we become eternal. Now that Sagi no Marieko has disappeared, my own directive is all that remains. If I don't create a new concept, then under the circumstances, I'll be swallowed up by the current reality of this place. But if you lend me your strength, Tayo, I can definitely achieve my goal. Papa, you've changed after all. I really don't get it. Tayo, you're so clever. So you would understand right away. I refuse. I have no interest in doing so. Being rejected by my daughter. The director's words are nothing more than words. He doesn't seem at all remorseful. His words have no weight. Eyes lack emotion. Yeah, as if the room itself is expressing its emotion. Destruction progresses. The area at my feet begins to disappear as it is swallowed up by something black. That black is surely its nothingness. Since it didn't really exist to begin with, the destroyed parts of the red Manten Aquarium are returning to nothingness. If we don't avoid it, we'll be in danger. Yeah, okay. More importantly, Tayo is a step ahead of us, facing the director. Even the increasing destruction around her hasn't shaken her. How long has this been going on? You being swept away by your delusions. Wanting to become a mere concept is something so stupid, even an elementary school student wouldn't wish for it. Tayo, this is an individual aspiration. Please understand. This is what you might call the cooperative desire of living beings. I no longer bear my will alone. The way I am now, I am like a CPU. To move this large machine, that is precisely my directive. The moment this world was born, along the lines of my grudge, I have aspired to a higher ordered existence. The number of souls were accumulated here for that reason. That's enough. When it was just about your grudge, I could empathize with you. If it all had ended with your resentment and your hatred, like a normal human, you would have been fine. Why would you create the world of this red Manten Aquarium? Even if I didn't tell you, you could understand by becoming one with me. Papa, I can't understand your way of thinking. Sayo, I feel so sad. Aren't you my daughter? You already understand that time is short. Come with me. Come with your father. The director extends his right hand towards Sayo. He places his hand on her head and rubs her head with soft movement. When compared to Sayo's seemingly small form, the director's hands looks large. At this point in particular, he definitely seems like a father. Her staying silent, having her head rubbed for a while, Sayo looks down and bites her lip. After about 10 seconds of saying nothing, Sayo finally clicks her tongue as if she's become impatient. That's enough! In sync with her shout, she brushes the director's hand away. Before we know it, as if reacting to the intense expression of emotion, the erosion reaches Sayo's head. Sayo, out. Sayo shows no reaction to my words and doesn't move out of the way. With that same forcefulness, she continues. I came here to say farewell to you, Papa. Trying to do something now will not change my mind. However, I have one final wish. Will you hear it? Sayo tilts her head and raises the breech at the end of her sentence. Precisely because this is between a parent and a child, I feel like I can get a clear sense of the distance between them. Stop this nonsense. Be a good sport and cross over. It shouldn't be hard to give yourself over to the freedom Mary is offering. A hope the size of the eye of a needle. Even so, Sayo is gambling on the feelings her father carries. Yeah, it's no good, then it's fine. Even so, I am your daughter. I've decided to maintain my sense of pride in being your daughter. Without leaving any time to hear his response, Sayo brusquely finished. She spins her body back in our direction and signals us with a bitter smile. I feel like I don't want to see that expression on Sayo's face. To see her trying to deceive us by hiding her painful feelings behind a smile. Huh? Sayo-chan. Suddenly, Mary and I both raise our voices in astonishment, but unmistakably, the most surprised is Sayo herself. The director has grabbed onto Sayo from the Papa, why? The director says nothing. Eyes closed. He seems to be holding onto his one and only daughter for one. It feels like a long time. He may be trying to take up the remainder of our time. Even so, it seems the love he finds there opens his eyes. Within this crumbling world, two of them together stand out. Will you please be good and cross over for me, Papa? I don't like the way you said that, Sayo. There's nothing I can do since I don't know any other way. Sayo, I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused. I won't forgive you, but since you're dead, it's okay, I'm not mad. The air enveloping them is our gentle one. I feel that since this is the parting of a parent and a child, it is more serene than it is sad. Why I feel uneasy about it. Sayo-chan, it's dangerous! Almost the same time as Mary speaks, I jump up. Huh? It appeared from the floor. The black giant, comprised of the darkness of human hearts, the whale itself. As if appearing from the director's shadow itself, it leaps out from the floor that served as sea level. Being only a second away from being consumed, he pushes Sayo away. Even so, the giant crashes into them, knocking them to opposite sides. Stay back! Reacting to Mary's words, intense blue light envelops the room. However, the black shadow casts a crimson light, mixing it with Mary's light. The room is dyed in a violet that sizes my vision for several seconds until I finally can comprehend the situation. By that point, the light has already vanished. This is terrible. Too cruel. This is such a tactic to trick her. You're not real father. Ow! I hurry to sit my body up. I feel the pain in my right shoulder from hitting the wall. Still, it's not bad enough to stop me from moving. I grit my teeth and laughed. Mary's gone. Director and whale too. Good day. Unable to see the whale for more than a second, and I couldn't see what happened after. That at all? Or that at all. Just like when it appeared in the director's office, it was in the midst of a real shadow. In that case, it is incomplete. I wonder if the true intention behind the director trying to drag Sayo in was in order to deceive all of us. To throw Mary and I off guard and swallow us up. Sayo and I were able to avoid this fate in the end, but we needed Mary. Taking Mary was the equivalent of taking in the last of the aquarium's power. It deceived Sayo and is trying to use Mary. Whether as a human or not, I feel this is something unforgivable. We have no choice but to pursue him. This time, I have to save Mary. Before that, Sayo is. I spot her shadow lying face down against the tank on the opposite side of the room. The impact apparently caused her to crash into the tank. The acrylic side of the aquarium is smeared with blood. Sayo! There is no response. But her wound opened up. I try to gently sit her up. I see that her forehead is split open, and a large amount of blood is falling out. Seems as if the spot where she was beaten by Himeno Marieko has opened up and gotten much worse. I have to stop the bleeding, even just a little. I remember what Kenji-san did with his hands pressed on Sayo's head with a handkerchief. In the blink of an eye, the light blue handkerchief is dyed red. The viscous blood sticking to my own fingers. The vividly red-colored blood is proof that Sayo is alive. No longer, I feel no objection to or fear of the blood. The intensity of the blood is decreasing. This is Sayo's, any person's ability to keep on living. Feels like I'm seeing a miracle. Her heart is beating, she's breathing. Still, I can be completely relieved just like last time. It's no shallow wound. There's the chance that the impact may have injured her in other places as well. I have to get her to a hospital as soon as possible. I have no time for doubt. Even though the exit is near, if I move Sayo, I may not be able to go after Mary. Having made it this far. Why? It seems that I will have to make a choice once more, and here comes two bad endings. Go save Mary. Is that really okay? Go save Mary. I will save Mary. I stand up in sync with my decision. To this point, many things have happened. I made a promise with Himeno and came back here again. I was able to become closer with Rayo. I was able to part with both Himeno Marieko and Kenji-san. I overcame numerous hardships. On the other hand, I came to know my own smallness as a human being. One person alone is relatively powerless. One person alone is essentially dead. That's exactly why I made this decision. Choose one thing, do not choose the other. Himeno denied this, but I understand it once more. I cannot accept what the director said, but we are all minuscule individuals after all. But that's the bad ending. He accepts the director's way of thinking. Wanting everything, wanting anything and everything, this is what we call desire. But fumbling across carelessly just to fulfill it will not yield success. Just one strong will. I'm sure that this is the one thing I'm entitled to. Is it okay? I hear a voice. It's fine, Himeno. Is it okay? It's fine, Sayo. Is it okay? It's fine, Mary. Is it okay? It's fine, myself. Really? Already been decided? Is that your answer? He who chases two hares catches neither. Isn't that how it goes? It's fine, me. Well, what's that, huh? Find me a large black shadow. A whale? Right, the shape of your doubt. For I know it, my vision is that violent. You should already understand by now that no matter which you choose, you won't be forgiven. That's not true at all, You rejected yourself. You negated everything you've done. Yeah, but I had no choice but to choose. The whale is gradually taking form and finally emerges as one cluster. The whale becomes large enough to cover the whole room, seeming like a cumulonimbus cloud. You shouldn't lie to yourself. It's painful making this confession. Shouldn't have to doubt. Shouldn't have to choose. If you're in pain, then hurry and get swallowed up. The whale with its large mouth open chases after me. So for long the violet world is put off. I realize it within this eternal cloudiness. As soon as I give up on either of them, my heart will break. Knew it. So yeah, it's against her own character. Forever Cloudy 1. We're gonna choose Sayo. And it's gonna be Forever Cloudy. Holy shit, descending took longer than the other one. Save Sayo. We'll save Sayo. Stop. There we go. Forever Cloudy 2. And now we're just missing 2 friends. Mary. Okay, now you can actually give your amazing speech without being swallowed up. Save Sayo, go save Mary, and have time for doubt. No matter what, I can choose either one. In this case, I can take Sayo back, call an ambulance, and quickly return to save Mary. This is the only way. I'll do it. I will. I came this far. If I don't give it my all, then what am I doing? Yes, Mayumi. It's because you're still putting everything on yourself. Huh? Searching for the voice's owner. My eyes grow large. An unexpected person has appeared before my eyes. Himeno, why are you here? Because I couldn't sit around and wait either. Just like you said, I tried coming in through the entrance. I said, please let me in. I forgot something inside. The security guard made a fuss and let me through. Probably disappeared halfway through the gate, but I'm sure I can come up with some excuse for that later. Making a fuss? Oh, you caused him trouble, right? Well, it is what it is. I learned my obstinance from watching you. By the way, what's going on here? With all those big holes, this place has gotten dangerous. This place is coming to an end. Moreover, how are you feeling? A little fuzzy, like I'm fading into my exhaustion. But I'm aware that I'm not myself, which probably means the medicine is working. I wanted to come here and support you. Himeno smiles with a hehe. The circles under her eyes tell me she's still not recovered, but I don't intend to refuse her outright. Liberation of the grudge that coordinated the red Manten Aquarium by way of Mary's power. That will also lead to the undoing of the course that has left the outside world as well. Just as Himeno says, it's probably just the effects of the medicine. However, I believe that Mary led her here. Moment, her being here, no matter how strong my heart is, I can't put it into words. I control the urge to embrace her for now, to look in her eyes. Take this girl, go back to the real world. If you call an ambulance right away, I'm sure she'll be saved. I see, this is the girl you're trying to save. Her injuries are terrible. Men seems to have finally noticed the girl lying on the ground. In that striking red color, Himeno's pupils seem to contract. Even for Himeno, her focus seems to be wavering. But at this point, Himeno is the only one I can rely on. I'm kind of glad that the person I'm counting on in the end is her. I'll explain after we get home. I'm going to rescue Mary. Mary-chan is your little sister, right? Am I going to save her, you? Still haven't explained anything. It's not unthinkable that Himeno would be confused. However, I don't have time to explain it from the start. I look Himeno straight in the eye. Trust me, wait for me. Definitely come back. Squeeze Himeno's hand and say this. Along with this wish, I entrust her with my feelings. That is my intention. Just like when we were in the taxi, I expect to receive various objections. Himeno leaves only enough time to blink and respond. I understand. This is something only you can do. When you come back, let's eat ice cream together. Cookies and cream. I'll have a double order. As I watch, it's getting close to midnight. This is when I'm usually asleep. But in these circumstances, I'm not the least bit sleepy. There's no time. Not just the time limit before the destruction of Manten Aquarium, but the end of the night of the full moon as well. Mayu, I believe in you. Now carrying Sayo on her back stands up. She extends her legs, she wobbles and stumbles, but straightens up her back with some confidence in her stability. Sayo has about the same build as I do, so it should be no problem for Himeno to carry her. Don't overdo it, Himeno. Your health is the most important. What are you saying? I will do this, even if it's to the point of ridiculousness, because you entrusted me with this. Anyway, that should have been my line. When Himeno takes a step, I hear the sound of something falling. It's the keychain, the one with the jellyfish drop attached. Same as the one I dropped. It seems to have fallen out of Sayo's pocket. Why? Sayo should have had the starfish. She should have had Mary's keychain. It was this girl then. I just realized it. When she bumped into you, this girl was the one who dropped the keychain. At that time, you must have gotten them switched up. It was something important to you, right, Mayu? You carried it like a charm? No. The keychain inside Himeno's pocket. Mayu? Your charm of protection. Himeno. When Sayo wakes up, give it back to her. I'm sure she just missed the chance to return it, but I won't wait until I hear that from Sayo herself. Okay, Roger. Be careful. Right. Our exchange ends here. So far, this has been the most epic route. If possible, I want to talk with her more. If possible, I want us to go together. If so, I will grant my wish. Mary tried to do that for me. Not so I can part with the past, not so I can part with Mary, but that in the distant future, I can surely see her again with a smile. The world is really going to end. No matter which way I look, it's a world full of holes. The black erosion continues, blue particles filling my vision even more than before. I can sense them against my body. I'm sure I have less than 15 minutes. This isn't the time limit when this world will completely disappear, but rather how long I have left to go to get back to going the way I came. I have no more time to spend with Mary. However, I will rescue Mary, even if I only have a second. In the end, if I can just see Mary's happy smile, I won't regret anything else. But where in the world has she been taken? Mary, answer me. I lace my hands together in front of my chest and pray. I don't even consider the idea that it probably won't get through. I believe, because Mary is connected to this aquarium, no matter how I look at it, it doesn't seem strange. It's there. Mary, big sister. I got it. Wait for me. I heard Mary's voice. Immediately after, a small glowing fish appears before me. Transparency isn't from its natural state, but likely from it taking form of the aquarium's attempt to preserve itself. It has a form similar to the tropical fish known as an angelfish. It has no straight pattern, and the light emitting from its body isn't just light blue like Mary's, but it has some gold mixed in. Triangular body is wavering, as if it's trying to signal me. I roam following that form. As the angelfish wiggles along, it swims forward through the air. I realize after a little bit that it's to avoid the holes in the floor. I can trust in this little one, can't I? I increase my speed further. As we arrive at the staff passageway, it stops. Even swimming in circles there. Understand what it's trying to do. Here, isn't it? Water has been prepared against the wall. Tunnel tank should be side by side with this passage. In other words, if I climb this ladder, I should reach the top part of the tunnel tank. The place for doing maintenance on the tank and giving the fish food. And the place where Sagino Marieko was pushed around by Kenyu-san and where Mary drowned. We chose this place on purpose, didn't you, director? I take a small breath and place one hand on the ladder. The angelfish follows along as if it's pursuing me. I climb up to the tunnel tank. I instantly feel as if the space has increased. Be that as it may, the scaffolding is the only bridge connecting one side to the other. The floor space seems wider than the ceiling, likely larger than an entire 3 stories. The deep water is insignificant compared to the places that have disappeared in the darkness. The director is standing at the other side of the scaffolding. At his side holds Mary. Please let Mary go. Holding Mary's neck between his arms. He can touch Mary. In other words, the director is already. We are already becoming an existence greater than some mere grudge. But I took on this temporary form in order to explain the situation. The director has seized my leg. Seems to be in pain, trying to resist him by pulling away his. However, her voice won't come out, as if her throat is being compressed. What she can do is kick her legs as she writhes about. Wasn't it Mary's power that liberated the aquarium? Now the situation has changed. Your power has exceeded Mary's? There is no need for you to know. At this point, I will give you a warning. He ignores my question and continues. The water surface is calm. I cannot see the whale. Still, I am vigilant to the possibility that he could suddenly appear as I lend him an ear. Go back immediately. As long as I have this girl, your sister, within my control, there is no need for you to die. There is no changing it. This world will disappear. I recommend that you return while there is still a path. What's going on all of a sudden? Earlier you said it would swallow everything. The circumstances have changed. This is probably the second time I accepted it. That wasn't you, but Sagi no Marieko who said it. That time, Sagi no Marieko was also part of the aquarium. He did something stupid by vanishing in order to return to her individual self. The director continues in an unintercepted tone. His inflection has decreased even further compared to when he was talking to Ty. When you received a present from someone, you are happy. You are hurt, suffer. When someone you love dies, you cry. When a child is born, you feel blessed. These are all emotions humans know without having to be daft. But it's a step above instinct as a truth of psychology. It's a general concept. This girl is a pure existence, close to the limits of nothingness. I wonder if you understand. She wants you all to be happy. It's hard to believe that this desire is equal to a general concept. You all likely don't realize it, but this girl is already in the process of changing into her desire. This means she's being sublimated into a metaphysical existence. Don't say this girl, she has a name, Mary. Moreover, whatever her desire, it is Mary's wish. I say this as I glare at him. That's enough wordplay. Anyway, this transformation into concept means that she will lose her individuality. The reason I was able to say this girl is because she has sustained her individuality. However, combining with this highly pure aquarium is what I'm doing at this moment. It's due to her lingering attachments from her bond with you that she cannot be completely sublimated. After I finish dying the seed of a new idea that this girl created with the grudge to keep this world in order, will have it blossom according to my liking. That was my plan long ago. In the event you didn't go back, I would finish swallowing up this space along with you. If you went back, you would be saved. Either way, the outcome doesn't change. This girl probably wishes for you to be saved. I suggest you return to the human world. The director says this, Mary stops resisting. He tells me that this man is not mistaken. If I go back the way I came, I will be saved. This is Mary's wordlessness. And Mary? Of course, she will be swallowed up by that mysterious darkness, will be unable to go to heaven. I don't know if there is a heaven as that in itself, maybe a conceptual issue. but my desire is for Mary to go, laughing. Well then, you must choose. It's already decided. There's no other way about it, I will say Mary. At the same time as I intend to trust my resolve at the director, the whale takes form above the director's head. Different from before, its shape is clear enough to know that it is a whale. Once I'm consumed, this world will vanish within. That is your time. The whale swims elegantly to the room, tank and all. Despite the fact that the whale has once again taken the form of a cloud, it steers up the water, and as if a bucket were turned over from above my head, I'm soaked with water. Just like that, the whale swallows up Mary and Sakuragi saw in a straight line. Mary! It's something I do almost on instinct. Arch across the bridge above the upper part of the tank, leap into the whale's mouth. The angelfish that has followed me heads to the whale's mouth, seeming to swim without its might, not as if I have a plan. Still, the fact that I have this fish with me means that Mary wasn't completely swallowed up. He said that her bond with me is what's keeping her from completely purifying the aquarium, but on the other hand, it's protecting her from becoming one with the director. Moreover, when Tayo created the whale, it followed me. It was a phenomena completely different from being eaten. Just as he said, this whale is probably just one general concept, the assembled body of the grudge. It can't just be destroyed. Tayo herself said that it was the same whale. More than anything, if she didn't have an idea, Mary wouldn't have led me here. Yes, big sister, you always do stupid stuff. Vision is a faint world of light. If I had to describe it, I would say I'm deep within the water. I'm far away from the sun. In order to test that, I tried to reach my hands towards the voice. Because you believed in me. And say bye-bye with my heart, that is. Yeah, that's why I need you to lend me your strength a little longer. Leave it to me. But the only one who can tell you the truth is this lady. Don't look sharp. The angelfish at my side floats up, disappearing into the light. Having become particles of ultramarine light, the angel's fish remain, become one with the light. The light flows even further, completely filling my vision. Within that, a faint image appears. This is what's the voice of a shocked Sagino Marieko, looking over some sort of document. I have never committed embezzlement nor anything of the sort. Seated on the antique furniture, Sakuragi Isao peers emotionlessly at her in her flustered state. Even if you try to squeeze me out of this company, the employees will no longer trust you. Quite the opposite. After that, I cannot hear what Sagino Marieko is saying. The image has already begun to disappear. Sakuragi Isao continues to sit there, his expression unchanging. Within his eyes, he's trying to stifle his anxiety. Whether Mary is showing me this or I am merely able to see it is not clear. However, at the same time that this is the final action of Sagino Marieko, it is a moment Sakuragi Isao can never return to. When the image disappears, this time I am swallowed by a whirlpool. I do not resist, but rather give in to it. When I come to, I am standing in the jellyfish booth. My body and clothes are just the same. There is a mistiness to the edge of my. There is no erosion or sign of books eating away at the aquarium, so I realize quickly that this is a scene Mary has created. How ironic. Why did she choose this place? Sakuragi Isao is also here. He looks to the sky to ask his question, but no reply comes. The place was constructed after my death. It's a place detached from my idea. For Manten Aquarium, you could say it's the one place that has no connection to me. Sometimes as he talks, the director's body sways. I think that he is perhaps looking at me. I am once again in a similar situation to before. By limiting my location, you intend to oppose me. Then, however, we no longer have time to waste. The director is definitely not looking at me, so I decide to take a step in his direction. You are a human. That's right, you couldn't get away. Still, there's nothing to worry about. You are merely heading for your demise. You're merely trembling before your own sins. The one meeting with you is merely one part of me. The majority of me is still continuing the erosion. Soon I shall conquer that girl. You were scared, weren't you? You were made to believe. Even if I die, nothing is impossible. That's why you chose to hate, to throw away your humanity, and to evade their reproachful eyes. You are already losing your form. You understand what that means, don't you? Unrelated to your will. There's nothing for you to do but become a part of the larger flow of wills. You're trying to run away as if nothing ever happened. Even now, that basis hasn't changed. That's why you can't run away from the fact that you are a human. There's no difference between the directive known as Sakurai Isao and us. Silence. In contrast to his motionlessness, up to this point he shouts as if to struck my words. This is probably the feeling of anger, as if acting in concert with this several tanks in the jellyfish booth break. I close my eyes out of shock at the sound, but manage not to raise my voice. I am watching the director's wavering form as I say, "So you aren't a human after all?" At almost the same time as I finish saying this, everything is dyed in black. The jellyfish booth disappears in an instant, and it becomes like we have sunk into the lightless ocean. When I lay my eyes on that last scene, it is the truth I see through. Mary erasing the directive was likely to stop the director. Looking further, I feel something brush against my butt. Darkness once again gives way to the world. It's the deep sea fish booth I visited with Mary and Sayo. Like it was before, the mist still hasn't faded from my vision. Why am I not being sublimated? Letting out a cry, his form is clearer than before. I stand up, once again facing. I think there's no one who's okay with dying. No matter what happens, no one feels happy to die. Not Mary, not me. Surely not Himeno or Sayo. Maybe not even Sagi no Marieko or you. If only someone could have accepted you in spite of your self-loathing. With that alone, you might have been saved. Don't speak as if you know. My objective is to become a concept. It isn't to escape. The tank pulses and all of the water changes to blood. For the red light that flows out fills the whole room, I once again sink into the ocean of darkness. He has probably already realized that he cannot escape. Not showing any surprise, Sakurai Isao stands stock still. I drift towards the souvenir stand. It's the place that, 5 years ago, led to Mary and I being separated forever. People do good things and bad things. Isn't that natural? For me, it is. Right, Mary? That's exactly why I asked Mary. Mary, enveloped in light, is there. The light is so intense, it's incomparable to anything that came before me. That's right. Even though you should have at least traded with me. I'm sorry about that time. Are you still mad? I'm not mad, since you said you were sorry. I'm also sorry. Looks like my time is up. I'm going to disappear. Yeah, but since it's you, Mary, I'm sure you'll be happy no matter where you go. You too, big sister. That's why. That's because it's our wish. Time is terribly short. We finally reached this party. One that took the passage of 5 years to last only half a day. Could never be enough. Still, I am satisfied with it. Reality will not change. I know that no matter what I do today, I can never revive Mary. That's why, at the very least, I don't want to have any regrets. Those feelings are granted in this moment. Mary, you okay? Yeah, I know. Wow, this body is... Blue light begins to flowing out of Sakurai Isao's body. I have transcended my individuality. Why am I disappearing as Sakuragi Sao? Grace taking you with her. No matter what sins you are shouldering, since you are a human, the place you will go is the same. Stop this. I believe eternally as a concept. This is proof that your soul has already accepted its humanity. I don't take my eyes off the disappearing director. Stop this, please. It takes no time for all of him to become particles and become one with the light. He crossed over, suffering as a human. Fear is born only in the hearts of humans. I have no idea whether or not he was saved. Taking a small breath, he turned to Mary, who has almost completely become light. Mary, there is no response, merely a nod. She is enveloped by a gentle light. Whether Mary is a human or a mere concept, honestly I'm not sure. Without a doubt, Mary was able to interfere in this work after all. But the last expression Mary showed me was a smile. At the very least, I was saved by her. That's why, from now on, I'll treat her wish like a treasure and continue to help it come true. No matter what, to me, he was human. That night, I dreamt of a whale swimming into the heavens. Numerous fish were chasing its large-scale fin, the sword creating whirlpools. The mixture of light and dark was like deja vu. Mayu, Mayu! A familiar voice called my name that wakes me up. Yelling at a hospital patient. Do you have no common sense? There's another voice as well. Even in my sleep, I know right away the owners of the voices. But I'm worried about her. I finally woke up and was surprised to hear from the nurses that my friend was in the hospital too. So much that I couldn't stand. You're so noisy. This isn't your area of expertise, so just be quiet and wait. When you put it that way, it is in your cider, Sayu-chan. Whatever, Chubby. Chop, hey, that has nothing to do with this. And I'm not particularly chubby. You're somewhat like a cow, making you at least 10 kilos heavier than me. I'm not that heavy. There's a 10 kilo difference between me before Sayo eats and you after you eat. Hey, what's up with that meanness? You speak in the third person quite often. Could you be crazy? I'm not crazy. Don't push the boundaries of common sense. I think it's fine. You can be so cute and yet still have these moments, eh, Sayo-chan? Don't make fun of me. Please, don't be so loud around us. Be patient. Finally, my body has begun to awaken to the desire to stay like this with my eyes closed lingers. Himeno and Sayo continue their exchange. I'm not sure when it was that they got to know each other, but regardless, they're like fire and oil. Speaking of which, two of them mentioned a hospital patient. Does that mean in this case, I'm the patient? The patient? Yes, she's alive. Oh! This is the perfect ending. I could hear you too from out there. This is a hospital. Don't you think you should be a little quieter? Another voice mixes in with the other two, who are getting along as well as dogs and cats. And now I begin to find myself really confused. Looking through the thin slits, a small girl is standing next to Himeno and Sayo. She's probably shorter than I am, and is wearing a soft and frilly dress. She's fashionable in quite a different style from Himeno and Sayo. You did it! Sayo-chan did it! Okay. Now, if you fight every day, you'll just annoy Mayumi-chan. He warns the both of them in a gentle tone. I close my eyes once more. Think about what I should do. Well, it's already been a week since Mayu was hospitalized. Doctor said her life is in no danger, but I'm worried. I've been hospitalized for a week already. It was the end of June when we visited Manten Aquarium, so it should now be about the first week of July. There was something really big waiting for me in July. There's finals next week! Without realizing, I pop up. Pushing up the white fabric, I once more realized that this is a hospital room. Even though I felt differently on the day I hung out with Himeno, I had intended to study. My results from the previous midterm exam weren't good. I had planned to take about 2 weeks to study, but... I awakened too quickly for my liking, and surely in a different way than what they expected. Himeno, blinking her eyes rapidly, stares at me. From a surprised look to a smile, then to a tearful one. In such a short span of time, all of Himeno's feelings come across to me. Maya. Where I realize it, drops begin to fall from my eyes as well. For me, it's equivalent to a reunion after several hours. Why do I feel so nostalgic? Maya! Unable to bear it any longer, Himeno leaps at me. Feeling the softness of her and her warmth, I'm sure that this is really my best friend. I'm here too. Hey Chan, did you want in on the warm and fuzzies as well? Don't make this weird. For a while, Himeno doesn't leave my side. It doesn't bother me at all, so I hug her back. And we remain on top of the bed like that until the doctor comes. After that, a lot of difficult things happen. First, somehow on that day, at midnight on the dot, it seems I had collapsed at the entrance to Manten Aquarium. The security officer who had found me called an ambulance and I was hospitalized, bringing us to the present. I was immediately hospitalized and Himeno, who had been with her, fell into slight panic learning I had also been brought in. The soft and friendly girl, her name is Minato Miku, is Saya's classmate and was apparently one of the victims of Manten Aquarium. She has been hospitalized here in the same hospital up to now. On that day, her mental state was restored. From this to that, it seems a lot has happened, but those are all other stories. Like the fact that somehow I avoided any sort of interrogation from my parents. For that, despite the doctor trying to get me to rest, I've been studying really hard since I woke up. For that, once again, a gravestone has been made for Mary. All of those are other stories. I have no time to think about how I'm going to live my life from now on. Usually, my busy days will continue. But ever since that day, something surrounding me has definitely changed. That's why, just a little, I live my life facing those things head on. It's a different ending, oh my god. That was the perfect ending. Now let's see the other one. Can't be that bad before everyone dies. Oh my god. First day of summer break. I'm leaning against a pillar in Manten Station. Of course, the reason is because I'm waiting for someone. Having come before the appointed meetup time, I'm spacing out, standing against the third pillar from the left. Doing this makes me remember that day, the day I visited Manten Aquarium, the day of farewell, where I faced testing. Makes sense, the beginnings are always so normal. There are 5 minutes until our meeting time. That time, Himeno came early. I wonder how today will go. Come to think of it, this is our first time going out since then. Just as I lose awareness of my surroundings, my memories are brought back as if in reaction to my situation. The world of fear and horror, the red Manten Aquarium. We're talking about a world that's long gone. But right now, I'm being clearly reminded of it. That's right, it's... Yeah! In an instant, my vision is tight pitch black. Even though my eyes are open, I can see a thing. Something cold to the touch is touching my face. It's become hard to breathe. However, I don't feel afraid. Rather, I feel irritated. Himeno! That's the second time. Himeno pulls away the hand that had covered my eyes and mouth and suddenly swings around in front of me, holding up 2 fingers and laughing. I respond by puffing up my cheeks at Himeno, who seems to be enjoying this from the bottom of her heart. She's right on time, so I guess her prank is her way of making things even. Yes, you're so mean, you scared me. How do I put it? That's a staple of my routine. You know, this isn't good for my heart. Today, Himeno is wearing a pink one-piece dress and an emerald green cardigan. It's the first time I've seen her in these clothes, so it may be that she got them specially for this day. Along similar lines, I also actually have brand new clothes on today. They're very summery, and the color matches well with my beloved boot sandals, so they're perfect for going out. Himeno, of course, seems to have noticed. We talked for some time. During our conversation, my eyes drift to the big Boston bag. He's once again carrying. Himeno, why do you still have that bag? Himeno puffs up her chest with pride and begins fishing around inside of it. You see? Yes, it's fine. Could it be that you wanna include that in your routine too? Oh, have I been found out? Yes, Himeno. Speaking of which, earlier you said something about being faster than me. What was that about? You wanna know, Mayu-chan? When you say it like that, it piques my curiosity. But I can't tell you yet. You're not ready, Mayu. Aww. Please, don't get mad. Don't get mad at me. Next week. I promise I will tell you. Why's that? I wanna know today. Wait, then it'll have been a whole month that she's been stalling. Now she says I'll have to wait another week. What's the point in putting it off for that long? Having thought that far, I place my hand on my mouth with an ah. When I have a hunch, my face immediately becomes hot. From Himeno's point of view, I'm sure there's mistake in the redness in my face. Wait, it's my birthday. I start to say, then close my mouth. Himeno looks at me somewhat bashfully. It's really no good with surprises and the like. Rather than being annoying, I find this to be so like Himeno and charming. When our eyes meet once again, we both become strangely embarrassed. Well, what a pleasant mood. Sayo-chan, shall we get them to let us join in? Huh? I don't get it at all. Very earnest. Sayo, Miku-san. Their timing is matched with the arrival of a train, almost in sync with the flow of people. 2 of them arrive. Our meeting time on the dot. Hello. You can leave out the honorifics. We're all Sayo's friends and all. And I'm calling you Mayumi-chan after all. When I greet her, Miku always returns my greeting in a relaxed tone. Miku-chan, long time no see. Himeno-chan, it's been almost a month. You two are getting on well. Sayo, you too. Yeah. That brusque way of clicking your tongue that what I say hasn't changed. It hasn't been more than a month leading up to today. The first day of summer break, so it's not likely for her to change that much. Four of us together is also rare, if I do say so myself. From the incident at the Manten Aquarium onward, before we realized it, we had become friends. In place of Sayo, who doesn't care for emails or phone calls, Miku has served as the go-between, leading to the creation of the plan for us to hang out today. I quickly became friends with the self-paced, sociable Miku. I felt it was somewhat wondrous that even I could become friends easily with anyone, but even in class. I feel like more people are talking with me. Okay, let's go. Yeah. I haven't heard anything about what we're doing today though. Didn't I tell you we're doing karaoke? What? Karaoke? How fast? Care for it. What? Are you bad at singing? As if you were waiting for it, Himeno was proudly grinning. If she talks with Sayo, Himeno is lively in a different way than she is in class. According to Miku, in the beginning, Sayo had the upper hand, but after several days, there were signs that this was being reversed. I'm not bad. Are you embarrassed? That's enough. It's fine if we go. I'll say this though. I don't know how this will turn out. What does that mean? It's not like I come to karaoke frequently, but I know enough to know that it's not a place where something could happen. Something said behind someone's back. If he's grinning for some reason. With Himeno at the helm, we finished checking in, ordered each of our drinks and a snack for us to share. Sayo and I sit towards the meal, with Himeno at my side and Miku next to Sayo. Just as we finally settle down, it's Sayo who is the first to move. Nimbly operating the touchpad remote, she leads the charge with the first song. Standing up straight, she uses the loading time to face the microphone and chat. I'm really entering songs I like. Please add them as you see fit. When Sayo finishes saying this, intense drumming reverberates from the speakers. A rock number in a genre I know nothing about is unfolding from the speakers. Maybe it's the same for Himeno. Sayo begins to sing the first line just a little bit late. I have a feeling I know why Miku didn't tell her until the day of that we were going to karaoke. As the ringleader of the cajoling, Himeno looks like she wants to say something. I'll sing too. Taking a microphone from the table, Miku pops up. Unexpectedly, considering her appearance, Miku apparently likes hard rock as well. Sayo seems a little dissatisfied, but when the song starts, they both seem to be enjoying it. Compared to Sayo, Miku is a good singer. She accurately sings even in the most intense songs. I thought Himeno was a good singer, but this is even better. Hey, Mayu, I don't know how to get into this. Just as the second melody ends, Himeno whispers in my ears. Even so, her voice is loud enough not to be drowned out by the microphone. I don't know either. I don't listen to this kind of music either. Right. It's not surprising that Sayo-chan and Miku like this type of song. Himeno and I have similar taste in music. Both of us like pop music. If we sing them in front of Sayo and Miku, they might get mad. But when neither of us chooses a song, Sayo puts another one on. The band is different, but the song is the same. Anyway, should we throw up our hands? Agreed. Let's thrust our fists. Somehow, I try to elevate the mood in the room and it goes better than I expected. Dancing at us, Miku starts to sing. You two wanna sing? Sayo is getting pretty pumped up. It seems wrong to interrupt. Sayo immediately makes a displeased face and tosses the microphone. You wanna sing, then just say so. But I don't know this song. It's fine, just sing. What? Even as I push the mic back towards her, Sayo won't take it. Maybe she didn't think that I wouldn't know this song. Well then, Himeno-chan, you'll sing too? Nah, I don't know it either. At the end, the three of us end up in a shape similar to a game of Oshikura Manji. Miku doesn't seem like she's completely enjoying it though. Despite the jumble and disorder, I really enjoy it. Yeah. And what do you guys know? Well, there was the theme to that recent detective drama. I like that song. don't listen to those kind of songs. I know it. Well then the three of us can sing it. Saya sticks out her lips like she's pouting. After that, it wasn't really karaoke in the traditional sense. I found watching Himeno and Saya's squabbles to be particularly charming. During that time, Miku and I chat while drinking our beverage. Since this is still during free time, we can stay as long as we want. The fun times will continue on and on. For example, even when today's done, time is not up. From here on, there will be many more good and bad times. I would probably have many more arguments with everyone. Probably have times where I hate myself. Even so, in the end, I want to laugh and take it all in, because I think that first step is a happy one. Mayu, why are you spacing out? I can understand why with the song playing. There aren't enough mics, but let's all sing together anyway. Right. When I stand up, a single drop trickles out and falls, just reminiscing a bit on all that's happened. Just one last drop, and I can no longer hear the sound of drop. I'm trying to sing with all my heart, and somehow it feels really good. We're gonna get an achievement. The limited ocean life. And we're gonna put the stream once again and start it up.